Oh, I'm sat there thinking, has your Twitch gone down or gone up? And you're just sat there going, ah, yeah, it's my Twitch money coming in.
I just realized that that came up, but no, yeah, I don't know what happened. It just, yeah, I said it was disconnected from stream.
Are you ready?
All right, we'll get back into it. It's it's at least recorded. This is the very beginning of the game. It's fine. All right, so this is, well, I'll say it once again. This is game number 1 between one of the best tournaments, one of the best matches in this play-ins for the 2v2 Jackpot tournament is Soldier and Give You Anxiety against Kinesi and Tit. We'll see what happens here. I'm super excited. The game, are we going to call this as close enough, or do you think we want to rehost?
We're in the game for long enough. I think we're absolutely fine. Both players have an access to two mines very defensively in base. That's 4,000 resources worth of coin, and both Orsids should be safely into the third age or late colonial, and they can push out for the extra resources. Talking of extra resources, left-hand side of the map, Tit with the Sioux Explorer chasing down the llamas very, very quickly. Also giving anxiety. Playing as Japan. Like, what is giving anxiety as Japan if love recently? He's been given this Civ randomly by the gods. Playing lots of Japan in the last series here, and wasn't actually too bad. I think it surprised quite a few of his keen watchers and fans in the chats. Giving anxiety, no slouch with the eco/mechanical Civ nature that is Japan. Soldier will be rounding out that composition, playing as the hero. Top side of the map, Tit playing as the suit, as we saw beforehand. 4 llamas being picked up by the Explorer. Very nice use of the Explorer. And also having 4 llamas at home. So really, really good age 1 here from Tit so far. His partner, Kinesi, playing as the Brits. Brit Sioux versus Hero Japan. And I've got to ask, the master of the team games himself, JAILEDaoe, this matchup, what do you think?
Brits Sioux versus Iroquois Japan. I think I give Brits and Sioux a slight advantage when it comes to economic aspect. Brits and Japan are fairly comparable, actually, when it comes to economy. Japan, you could say, has a bit better of an economy, but Brits starts paying off a bit faster. So I say it's fairly comparable. Sioux, though, is significantly better than Iroquois. So economically, I give Brit and Sioux a bit of an advantage. Militarily, H3, H4, I definitely give H4 on for sure. I give Iroquois and Japan the advantage. So we'll see how it plays out. I think it's pretty close in all reality. When it comes to H2 fighting, it's going to be hard to see some really good cab units coming out of Give You Anxiety and Soldier. The Kanye Horsemen, not very good, and Naganatas are good, but when it comes to cab versus cab, they're not exactly ideal.
JAILEDaoe, time out. We have a sling from Kinesi to Tit. Tit went to the second age on the messenger, but had enough wood for the native TP, and still has 200 wood spare to fund off Ink and Huminka production. We have 4 on the board already at 3 minutes, 40 seconds, marching across very fast. 4 Kanyas being sent. You see, Tit was listening to your stream earlier. The Sioux sling, 4 axes running across the field. Incan's nearly in the Japan player base, and Giving Anxiety is about halfway up at the moment, but apart from that, no other way to defend from these high siege units.
Dude.
Them marching their way into Warhut. This could, I think the Warhut will go up, but it will take a lot of siege damage though. It will take
a whole lot, yeah. It's it might be half HP. Yeah, it's about half HP by the time it gets up. That's really big. If this goes down, Iroquois are not going to have a military production building to build units out of. Japan is still aging. He's mostly aged, a little over 3/4 right now, but yeah, that's rough. The Warhut goes down. There is no military production buildings out for Kinesi, sorry, for Soldier and Give You Anxiety. That's looking really rough for them. We'll see what they can do with it. There is a consulate out. He'll get the shipment of the Bastiros out as soon as he can. But yeah, looking really, really good for Kinesi and Tit. Kinesi's still age 1. He's still feeding. I wonder how long he's going to be feeding here. This will be really interesting to see.
Soldier went greedy, farm from the age 1 Travois, and 5-vil first shipment here. Longhouses are going down, so we'll start to lose on that population. I think he's just sent a military shipment now behind this. Giving Anxiety did lose one of the Explorers, but did get revived on the Age up there. But both Japan monks in Soldier's base defending, not on the map Shrine in, giving Anxiety 40 Shrine Pop. That Shrine Pop won't be increasing anytime soon. These Axes and Incans have caused so much damage already, and although Kinesi's in Age 1, Kinesi doesn't care. He's Brit. He's just spamming units and mana houses off the Virginia Company card, and his villager count will be exploding very soon. Does have hunting dogs and gang sword to help his eco.
Yeah, we do see Ashley on the field. These Inko Hamika are pushed back a little bit. But the damage is already done, honestly. Soldier, no... he's been pop-capped for a little while. He has no War Hut either. On the other hand, Give You Anxiety does have a barracks out, but yeah, like you were saying, he's not building more shrines right now. He's focusing on defending. And then also there is Bullis warriors that can be trained from the Inca native trade post. And they're half decent. Inca Hamika, very, very good unit though. Very high food, very low wood cost. Makes them an exceptional unit when it comes to the resource cost. And we do see War Hut just going back up for Soldier. I'm curious how long Kinesi is going to stay Age 1. What do you think of that?
Well, he's just sent exotic card woods. He does have 23 vills and food now, so he's going to get that food and age up very, very soon. One thing to notice though, Giving Anxiety, Kami card, first card, Age 1, Toshoka Shrine, age up. Shrine Pop at the moment is 50, with a 5 Ashigaru first card. Like, okay, you lost quite a lot of those Incan Huaminkas, but you slowed Soldier down, and you've really slowed the Japan player down, even though you weren't really in Japan player's base. Both players had to react and adopt their builds to defend the single push from Tit. You know, being fed by Kinesi as well, being fed by Kinesi. Kinesi behind this, lots of vills, and like for example, just like something as simple as 3 mana houses, middle of the map. That's 4 villagers now in the center, gathering from these middle hunts. He's working on the right hand side on the hunts before the Japan player shrines up, and map vision for Kinesi's teams looking pretty good. And yeah, Giving Anxiety now starting to get that eco going, I guess, but it's only on 60 Shrine Pop. Nice crack shot here from Soldier, picking up a couple of Huminkas, and Yumi Archer's doing a bit of work as well. So 2 going down, but Kinesi's looking strong here.
Yeah, he is. Looking really good here. He's getting some bow riders out, like you're saying. War clubs out, so kind of bolstering that pike, that siege damage that he has out. He is trying to just kind of control the map, get all of the shrines down that are being built. Even a tomahawk working on the villager out building the manor there. But yeah, looking really good. There's a scary siege force here. If there's not a whole lot of Ashy left to defend it, there's some Yumi coming out. But if there's not a whole lot left to defend, those shrines are toast. They'll go down almost right away.
War clubs and Incan Huaminkas, you never usually see this combination before. These guys haven't got their Incan roadworking tech just yet. Very expensive, probably won't need it, especially when you have the Sioux Explorer nearby, but is currently taking a rest in the Soldier's base. A couple Yumi's out in the field now for Giving Anxiety. Will be pushing back this infantry mass from Tit, but Tit's just going to keep his infantry alive, move across the map, and start sieging some shrines on the right-hand side. Kinesi knows that there's these 2 shrines here, just due to this manor house. And at this point of the game, it's nearly 9 minutes. Japan should have, shrined all these hunts on the left-hand side, just because that's what Japan do. But that early pressure has, and Giving Anxiety's relative inexperience with Japan has kind of, he's realised he's had to continuously pump Yumi Archers out, and the more Yumi he makes, the less eco he has. Looking at his market text, well, he's only got civil servants and going for blanket filters. Does not even have a food berry upgrade just yet. This is not standard for Japan, politely being put. And as soon as Giving Anxiety gets both the Japan cherry orchard upgrades, the more comfortable I feel. Incan Huminkas, though, gonna wreck this shrine, and it will pick off the monk as well. He won't be able to poof out, and that's a nice pickup.
Yeah, we do see Soldier is almost Age 3 right now, so he's going to be able to make some Forest Prowlers or Musk Riders. There's a lot of Yumi out from Giving Anxiety, so Musket Riders seem a little bit more logical just to shore up the weaknesses. We do see the bow riders coming in on the villagers, and Huamika coming in also. All of those villagers are going to be idled. Are they going to be able to get into the TC? Oh, that's excellent micro. Look how many villagers are going down there. That's crazy. They're not able to get into the TC. They're just sitting there. Oh my goodness. How many villagers was that? Let's look and see real quick. It was, looks like 4 villagers, 5 villagers possibly going to go down, just 4 for now.
Oh, look at this. He's got to get out. He's testing it with the llama. He knows he can get out. He's running that south. That is llama micro OP there. And I liked how he sacked Ink and Huminkas and ran with the Cav. Gets the no greatcoats emote going in the chat because giving anxiety. Lost a couple of vills there without having that Eastern medicine. A couple ANers out catching a predominantly bow heavy competition. And look at all those units. Low HP.
Yeah. Look at, they're on like a combined something like 300 HP. that's crazy. Super low HP. This is an action-packed game. We haven't even gotten to look at the decks yet. This is crazy. All right, so we do have the villagers coming back though. Definitely some craziness going on. One thing I will say is that amidst all of this, Kinesi and Tit have the map control. They have all these muskets sieging over here, some muskets sieging right here. It's they have complete map control. It's the Japan is on how much? Sorry, Japan is on 70 population. That means it's 60 now. It's going to soon to be 50. That means he has 3 shrines on the map. It's going to be even 2 shrines. This is crazy. He's got nothing on the map.
I've just read the funniest thing in chat. Giving anxiety with Shrine Soldiers hunts on the right side. That is a no-no in the Team Players Japan book. You want to shrine your opponent's hunts, not your allies. And I know you were pressured. Maybe Shrine top side over here could have alleviated some of that pressure in your opponent's base. And I even forgot that Kinesi was in this game. Like Tit was, you know, with the extra help of Kinesi's early eco, was essentially keeping both the players penned up just by himself. But Kinesi, 170 score. Go into the Fortress Age, double Musketeer cards, and sieging shrines all over the map, and getting a respectable Musketeer mass behind this. Kinesi, we said he's going to be strong, but he's not, wasn't even contested, no eco damage during Second Age, getting himself his own Incan native TP, and that could be for the metalworking coin upgrades. Kinesi, again, looking strong.
Yeah, looking very strong. He's getting in some raids. Does not get any villagers. Does make it out. He loses 1 bow rider in the process. That's okay. Keeping pressure on your opponents. That's always good. Yeah, Kinesi super strong. Looking at the economic population, their team has an 18. It's a 74 to 92, and military population is pretty much neck and neck right now. But yeah, this is crazy. H3 soldier is soldier is H3, but he only has 1 TC out. So yeah, looking rough for them. I don't know what they're going to be able to do versus Japan having no shrines basically.
He does have a back TC, but Tit is guarding soldiers east hunt and can see any pushing towards the eastern side for resources, which is also where quite a lot of Kinesi's eco is gathering behind this. I like that Tit is now going pure Axe Riders. Axe Rider, Musketeer, great combo. You don't need Musketeers and Bow Riders at this point. Looks like it's going to be a Musketeer Hussar style strategy from the 2 players, and once Tit gets to the 3rd age, I think this would be a good time now for Tit to kind of transition to get into the 3rd age now that Kinesi's stabilized in the 3rd age and that Tit has this large, massive cavalry units. Get into the 3rd age, researching Vet Axe, and then sending Cav Combat would be very, very useful. And he's seen what Soldiers pushing in with. A couple Musket Riders, Colonial Tomahawks, Colonial AN, and a few Forest Prowlers. Kinesi and Tit can just right-click that. Where is Giving Anxiety? Oh, he's only now coming with Yumi Archers. And yeah, I think they need Vet Axe Riders, as just this is so important to do with what Japan's got.
Yeah, he's not really close on aging, only about 500 food, 400 coin. Yeah, so we'll see what happens there. We do see that the Bow Riders pick off the Japanese hero. There's 1 more there. We'll see if he's able to take it out. Divine Strike on the 1 Bow Rider. If that Bow Rider is able to take out the 2nd one, that is going to make a difference there. Yeah, 2nd stable coming out. Tit is not looking to age up.
No, he's not.
The Axe Riders, honestly, are very strong units. Currently, 208. They have both of the cards for upgrading them. 287 HP, along with 40 attack. That's pretty decent. And you know, opponents don't have a whole lot of anti-cap currently. It's just
the reason why Tit is not aging up now because he can't afford to not be with his brother. That is Kinnessy pushing him with 5 Falconets. You don't need a huge cav mass to demolish archers when you've got 5 cannons behind you. These Actual is just enough to snare and keep the army interested, and the Falconets will be doing the work from behind and just pushing it at this point. Anxiety has just got to the next stage, but he's already lost a few units to those cannons, and Axe Riders are going to town on this Forest Prowler heavy composition. I know he's got quite a few Musket Riders in there, but it seems like Anxiety has been going for Yumi Archer, Bestieros. Soldier also going for Forest Prowler seems a little bit counterintuitive here. Tomahawks, Musket Riders would have been nicer versus what's going on here, but 5 Falconets underneath the Japan town centre. Flaming arrows do come out, but it won't be enough. TC goes down, Vils will go down, and even Axe Riders at the back of Anxiety's base. Massive raid here. And Kinnessy's still winning the fight himself.
Yeah, the flaming arrows get 1 volley off, don't kill any of the Falconets, and the Falconets take them out. The TC goes down almost instantly. We see that Give You Anxiety is on almost no villagers. We'll look at that real quick to see how many he has. He has 13 villagers. That's so rough. But yeah, Falconets, Muskets, he's just completely cleaning up this fight. I don't think Give You Anxiety and Soldier have a chance at this point.
Yep. Resign's coming, and the GGs will be called. That's if Give You Anxiety will give a GG. I will give a GG because that was a very nice strat. I will say nice strat though because it really was, wasn't it?
Yeah, you see the power of feeding Sue to age up fast. He did use the natives a little bit, but yeah, feeding Sue to age up fast can be really, really potent. See,
I'm learning stuff every day. Tune into jailed streams and you will learn yourself some random jailed team of build orders you would never consider.
Yeah, team's so very different than 1v1, and it allows for a lot of different strategies. Definitely, without a doubt, coordinating well with your teammate is really, really key. And we see that these players, Give You Anxiety, Soldier, Kinissy Tit, they have come into this game prepared, into this match prepared, and they signed up together, both of them. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the next game. We're taking a look at some of the post-game stats for you guys real quick. Military pop. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
Can you change between military unit population and villager population? You can see how Tit has the military population pinning both Give You Anxiety and Soldier down, but until the point where Kinnessy starts making military units and Tit's military starts falling off, relatively speaking, look at that villager population behind. That was an unchecked VC boom behind this. While Tit had normal Vil production, but just that early age up in Sling, other units just allowed Kinnessy for that, and then the military unit population, just those early 8 bow riders, they came out at 3 minutes 20. The Inconhua Minkers were out at about 3 minutes 40 in the base, and Kinnessy's first unit was 9 minutes 15.
Yeah, crazy. That's crazy. I love seeing some adaptation and some wonderful gameplay out from these players. It is game number 1 going over Tit and Kinissy. They could also use Timogen to play. There's a team of 3 versus a team of 2. I allowed some subs to be signed up. But yeah, Falconets. The Falconets, I think, were kind of just the seal on the game. There's not an answer from Iroquois to them. Flaming arrows are pretty decent, but he would have had to build a castle and build more. He just hit age 3 right when Kinissy and Tit were going forward. So I like that play from them, and they pulled it off really well.
Yeah, I can't check now because the game's finished whether Kinnessy got ink and metal working or not, which is a 20% coin upgrade, 175 food and coin. I think it's a cheaper version of Amalgamation. But I can confirm Kinnessy did have Amalgamation research, so could have some very strong coin upgrades, and that was how he managed to pump out 5 Falconets. A batch of 2 or 3 would have done the job, but 5 just really made it impossible for either soldier or giving anxiety to kind of commit to the army and try and take a fight with 5 artillery pieces guarded by all these vet musks, double carded from the second age upgrades, and yeah, the 5 falconets were just so tough. I guess Kinnisi could have had. Well, I've got units in queue. He had musks, hussars in queue, and still had another falconet in queue. Could have had something like maybe 6, 7, 8 falconets out in the field.
Yeah,
Kinnisi is a strong team player, really strong, probably stronger than his 1v1 skills. I fear for Soldier's team. They're up against it.
Yeah, I'm getting into the next game where we're all ready to go here. Yeah, that's crazy. They pretty much won the game before 4 minutes. I mean, pretty much. Not really. There's a lot of things to play out, but they had a huge advantage at 4 minutes into the game. Yeah, that's crazy. So they take game number 1 on Pampas Sierras. They have they're winning 1-0.
What's the next map, Gerald?
I am getting that to you now.
Let's start that Civ wheel spin process.
Yeah.
Please, 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 the mother and lord, that is the holy god, the great Garja himself, please give Anxiety Russia for next game. I've seen Giving Anxiety play Russia once, and it was an entertaining game.
Yeah, for sure. The map is Pampas Sierras again, so we'll see what happens with that.
Do you want to tactically change it? We didn't have to hear that one.
Holy smokes! Guess what those civs are for Soldier and Give You Anxiety?
Oh, can we not have repeat mirror matchups? What is it?
It is Japan and Iroquois.
No. Re-roll that. I know it's your rules, but you just re-roll that. Pretend that didn't happen, because that's like a 1 in for the map and the 2 civs, like 1 in I don't know, a couple of thousand probably.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, the civs for Kinnisi and are different though. India, France.
I suppose Soldier does have the reroll option though, so I guess that's absolutely fine. Kinnisi, sure it's random. I'm with you here, Kinnisi. I think there's some dodgy dealings coming here by JAILEDaoe corporations.
I was using 2 different spinners for those too. For those also. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Certainly Pampas Sierras, Japan, and then Iroquois. I believe, I'm not sure, but I think maybe Japan was rolled first on both times too. All right, GUA wants a reroll. I can respect that. It's new sis for Tit and Kinnisi, but we are going to reroll in each match. Each team gets 2 team rehosts, and they decide to use it here. Map is Arkansas, and we'll get the civs for you in just a second. Yeah, yeah. When you use a team rehost, you reroll all civs and the map. So that's what they go for. The first civ and second civ for GUA and Soldier is Sioux and Ports. So we'll see if they're happy with that.
I heard a rumor that if you donate $50 to Jail's stream, you can actually pick a civ for a person to play. Wink, wink. No, it's not. Scrap that. But I think Sioux Ports is a nice matchup. When you're first in a civ selection like India, France, they're very versatile. I think they work quite well together, and they don't really mind what the map is. Wait, they respan as well? Do you respin all the civs, is it?
Respin all civs and the map. Yeah.
That makes sense.
You can have them rolled and you don't like your opponent's civs, or you cannot like your own. You cannot like the map. So I wanted to respinning all of those. All of them just seemed the most logical thing.
I like Otto. I like watching Otto games. I know a lot of people don't like Otto. I actually enjoy playing against Otto as well, because it feels like a civ you can micro against, and it kind of feels nice just to kind of, flex some of your micro and flex your muscles, microing your skirmishers onto the Janissaries and just picking them off one by one. But also just a fun civ, some fun units, Abus, Spahis, Falcons, Mams. Tit with the Germans behind this. Arkansas, mid-resource type of map. Not a huge amount of coin mines. I'm expecting standard German play here instead of a mercenary heavy. Tit could be opened up with war wagons. Do Ulans really stack up in team EP games, Jailed?
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
Do you think Ulans have a place in team ESOC patch games?
They certainly age 4 on, they do. Aged because of the card that makes them even stronger than RE. And in age 2, so it's just 10 less HP, but on a unit that already has low HP, that's quite a bit. Do they have a place? They do have a place. They're excellent raiders. As far as being cost efficient or pop efficient, they have never really been cost efficient or pop efficient, even on RE, compared to Hussar. So you don't want to be stuck with them in age 2. You can make some, but you want to go to age 3 before too long for sure.
Sounds solid. I'll take that. Germany also. Are we thinking German basically staying on that cav kind of focus Ulan war wagons, or war wagons and mixing a little bit of Ulan for kind of rain potential and letting your Ottoman ally go for Jan Abus or maybe Abus heavy? Or do you think Germany can go for skirms while Otto basically go pure Jan combat falconets?
Yeah, there could be a lot of different things. Age 2, I think it'd probably be most likely to be... well, one thing that could happen, there's not much mobility with it, but Dops and Abus is an option. That's really, really hard to engage that, but it's not something I expect by any means. On the other hand, Janissaries and Ulans would be more common. For Soldier and GUA, probably something like Crossbow from GUA and Bow Riders from Soldier, or maybe Muskets and Axe Riders. Something along those lines. I think probably even double cav might be decent, but if the opponent goes Dops, then that could be really rough.
Given Xardi's lost enough games as it is today, just imagine losing to double Southerners. That will be rubbing the salt in it, as they would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I do honestly think age 2 Dops and Abus is the best combination. You don't have many, it's not mobile, so if they're trying to raid hard, that could be really rough. But you do have Ulans that come from shipments, even if you do that, so you have somewhat of an answer. Granted, Sue is exceptional when it comes to raiding. We'll see what happens, though. This is game number 2 of the 2v2 Jackpot tournament play-in match between Give You Anxiety Soldier and Knissi Tit. We'll see what happens here. This is really exciting. We have Sue and Ports versus Germany and Ottomans. As far as tempo for aggression, I give that over to Germany and Ottomans. As far as booming potential, I give that over to Soldier and Give You Anxiety. We'll see what they're able to do with it, though. This map is fairly open, actually extremely open. There's a little bit of cliffs on the top side that you can wall and whatnot, but... yeah, it looks like the map generation was pretty fair. It's the mines are all pretty fair. Hunts pretty much are what they are. As long as everyone starts with a hunt, you're good to go in team games. Yeah, well, I'm curious to see if Give You Anxiety and Soldier are gonna feed feed Sue to age up faster. Now I don't expect it, but after last game, they might be thinking it's really, really strong.
Yeah, certainly. I think there's one coin mine missing right there underneath the trees, but it's not the end of the world. It's really tough for Knissi, to be fair, but we're already in the game, and they have a decent amount of hunt on this top side. Like, look at this, 3 hunts, really close. Tit playing as the Germans. We'll be happy to see that, but it's also the Germans, the coin heavy, have access to this as a 3rd and this as a 4th. So I'm happy as the map generation goes. We did see Give You Anxiety going for an early training post on the wood start. That is Portuguese, so going for the training post, chopping for a house to keep the population running. We do see the German training post come down for Tit in the center, marching a long way for that one. Knissi sneaking the in-base defensive training post, getting that one very, very quickly. So all the civs who want the training post have thrown down the training post. Poor old Sue here. It's a Civ who really do need training posts, but is being left with nothing. And this might be a low eco game here from Sue.
Yeah, to be honest, in Age 1, you don't usually build a TP, though. If you start with 100 wood, just build some of the TPs, the resource boosting TPs, rather than the trade posts, actual TPs. But yeah, all of the trade posts are taken up right now. A little bit of fighting in the middle.
What is Giving Anxiety doing? Oh, I know what Giving Anxiety is doing up here. He took the wood crate from Soldier. I wondered how he got the house down so quickly. He took the wood crate, but didn't leave 50 wood behind or 40 wood for Soldier to get his own Sue economic TP to boost his own eco. So, bit of brotherly love here. Giving Anxiety getting fed by his big brother Soldier. It's like baby times this is, but they're all grown adults playing computer games.
Yeah,
I was
like
wondering what
that
this
move.
Sneakyville was doing.
I like that move. You can also keep it around so that you can pick up extra wood crates when Sue hits Age 2. Yeah, we have some villagers coming forward from Ottomans. Well, I'm really curious if it's going to be Janissaries or Abyss guns. We'll look at the decks real quick. We have a little bit more time this game than last game. Last game, basically, Womankers were already out.
Oh, the herding from Kinnessy. He's herding the hunt away from Giving Anxiety.
Oh, nice.
He has shown that the villagers forward. These villagers were super forward, but he's also back herding another hunt. Luckily for Giving Anxiety, he has a decent deer hunt behind his base there, but Portuguese, they do need their hunts. But yeah, Kinsey showing the cards. He's going to be going aggressive here. What I was going to say, though, is the fact that you've taken Soldier's wood. Is Soldier going to age up with the wood crates? Is he going to fast age? Is he going to go bisons? 500 food? I don't actually know what the correct decision here from the Sue age up is. And it looks like Sue from Soldier is going to with the chief. So it is the wood crates, but he's chopping a lot of wood as it is. So war huts. 400 wood crates behind us, so that could be market and big batches of Setons behind this.
Nice. So it's a war hut out from Sue. I'm really curious what Give You Anxiety is going to go with as this military building. I'm guessing a stable, but I don't know for sure. Seton Bow's definitely what should be coming out from war hut, especially defensive like that. Yeah, stable for Cav is a possibility for Give You Anxiety. Or, and probably what they maybe should go with versus Ottomans. And it is, okay, so Town Center going up. We'll see what goes up in just a moment. If it's a barracks, it's going to be muskets for sure. If it's a stable, it's going to be Cav for sure to start with. We'll see what's going to happen. I said earlier, the tempo advantage over to Ottomans and Germany. And again, that's what it is. It is Germany and Ottomans super far forward. Outpost already out by Tit, and the artillery foundry out from Kinnissy. It is a barracks, so I think we're going to see Dops and Abyss.
Yeah, you might. I'm about to say, nah, he's going crossbow pike, but if you're Abyss, that kind of really defeats the point of crossbow pike. He may open up with pikes first, but no, he's not going to wood in the bank. He's got 12 vills. The coin's gone. It is Dops in Q. Gels, you're a genius, mate. Genius. What is this?
Yeah, I think that's the best unit composition, and having your FP so far forward, you are able to put tons of pressure early. We do see that one of the Abyss goes down, but they're microing hard onto the Seton Bows, and he's splitting up all of his Abyss. Well done by him, and the Dops come forward. That was a shipment, 2 settler wagons into 3 Dops. Super hard aggression shipments. And it is a barracks out from Give You Anxiety. He's going with... Okay. Alright, so the answer really, honestly, versus Dops and Abyss is to go either... is really to just go double light infantry. As soon as we see a stable out from Tit, though, that would force them to go some anti-cav. There is a corral out, so perhaps bow riders along with crossbow is an option. Perhaps not ideal, but yeah, Dops and Abyss, who would have thunk it in a 2v2. I'm excited to see what's going to happen here, though.
I wondered why Kinnessy was pushing in so early with his Abyss guns. It seemed very risky that a 4 axe shipment could pop out, but actually he was fine to do that because he knew that his German opponent was sent into the forward outpost. 3 Doppels and 2 Uhlans. Those Uhlans came in enough time to kind of scare away the rest of the Setons, and led to a positive trade there for Kinsey. I thought it could have gone wrong, but the reinforcements came in quick, and Expos getting picked up quite nicely. Though do pick up 2 Aegis guns. No villagers in the town centre though. Really efficient for villagers to fire on the Aegis guns from the town centre. Easy to pick off and expensive units. We do see raids at the back of Soldier's base, and JAILEDaoe, how many went down?
Only one went down, I believe. Another one got really low and almost went down. Sue is raiding on the other side of the map, but we'll see who can raid better. The disadvantage of having this army composition is it's not very mobile. Dop's getting in on top of the crossbow. If they connect, that'd be really big. And they don't. The Avis, though, are able to shore up that weakness. Definitely going to need some cav out from Soldier and give you anxiety, or some answer to this. It's just really hard to deal with Avis and Doppelsoldners. If they go cav, Dops just completely chew up cav. It's not really an option. Double light cav's really your only option, but as soon as Germany adds, or someone adds, the Ottoman could even add some cav, that would allow them to just completely clean up any army composition that Soldier and Give You Anxiety could come up with.
Look how effective that TC fire is, seeing the Aegis guns. The fact they went Aegis Dops means this raid is essentially unchecked. There's not enough cav units to really deal with 4 Axes and the Sioux Warchief. So they're getting some big raids behind us, idling up a lot of the eco. Really unfortunate for Soldier. He didn't scout this, because that would be the big raiding point. Actually pushed into Kinsey's in-base coin mine, which was, you know, got 1 or 2 auto vills, but nothing big. But the raid is now caught underneath town centre fire. Should pick up at least most of the axes. 1 is going to not be enough. Aegis guns, though, picking off crossbow 1 by 1. That town centre fire is absolutely wrecking these Aegis guns. And Kinsey, he's already sent most of his, you know, crate shipments, 700 coin, 700 wood, his high impact ones, and he's only left with like 6 Aegis.
Yeah, it doesn't have many Aegis left. We did see that Kinsey was trying to go forward and heard the hunt back, but it back-hurted on him. He shot it the right way, but a little bit of a Age of Empires 3 bug, if we will. But yeah, Aegis guns still outrange the crossbow, so they can micro it pretty well. Crossbow also have an attack animation. Aegis guns are pretty much instant. So yeah, looking really, really good for Kinsey and Tit. Honestly, it is 55 to 54 military population, 48 to 40 on military unit population.
Oh snap! Here come the Axe Rider flank. This is going to be big. Most of these Aegis guns are pretty much dead. Only 3 Colonial Hussars, but enough Seaton bows to really go into the Doppelsummers. This is going to be a cleanup, I think. At least cost effectively. This is going to be huge. Minutemen coming up, crossbows alive, and you know, Portuguese, they've lost a few villagers, but that town centre fire has basically dwindled Kinsey's army down to, you know, mini amounts, and this is giving opportunity for other guys, the other team, i.e. Soldier and Give You Anxiety's eco to breathe, and this is a push out from Soldier. And the fact that there's only low Aegis gun counts meant that the Doppels felt a bit awkward. They haven't really achieved overly much.
Yeah, definitely looking rough for Tit and Kinsey. Caster's Curse coming in for me. I say that they're doing well, and they pretty much fall back. They pretty much lose the fight. It was definitely out of position. If the Dops were on top of the Aegis, they would be a completely different story. But yeah, the Dops just pulling back in cover mode, soaking up a lot of damage, but the Axe are still lurking around, trying to find some damage there. Honestly, at this point, though, and we see the Ulan and the Dops come out and shred the army reinforcements. So it's kind of, honestly, Give You Anxiety and Soldier are a little bit caught out right here. We'll see what they're able to do, but yeah, those Dops and those Ulans completely surrounding this army. This is going to be game-changing right here. It looks like all the Seaton bows and crossbows are going to go down. This is crazy. It's swinging back and forth. All of them are going down. Harrison, this is crazy.
This has been a legit 5 Ulan GG shipment here. We always talk about the 9 Ulan GG shipment in the Third Age. One game recently, 5 Ulans kind of helped to win a game, just distracting. But these 5 Ulans actually cleaned up those Seatons. And the Seatons, when they look into Ulan's eye, it's just their worst nightmare. They really are not well equipped to deal with these high attacking cav units. Even taking down a few of these wolves, gets in an Aero Tomahawk treasure, very, very strong against cav units, much stronger than the Tad's version of Tomahawk. So a great addition to the army there, pushing out, and we've seen the Sioux forward TP being setting up store in the middle of Arkansas. But these settlers are likely to get picked off, especially when you have 7 Uhlans looking to pick off these villagers with no spirit medicine. Goodbye, rest in peace, sweet dreams, always Vils. Your service to the Suiko was greatly appreciated, but not needed anymore.
Yeah, we see one Axe Rider did pick off a settler wagon there, and we also saw that Germany aged up fast to age 3. So it is age 3 Germany. We also see Ports and Sioux both aging up right now. They don't really have much of an army to speak of, though. It could be really, really hairy for them in the next few moments. Yeah, they have all 3 TPs, like you're pointing out. Kinesi and Tit in a commanding position at the moment. Recalculated economic unit population is 62 to 61. That does not take into account the TP's military unit population. Landslide in favor of Kinesi and Tit, 69 to 18. I don't know what Give You Anxiety and Soldier are going to be able to do. They'll have the 2 organ shipment. That is an option versus Abyss. At least it does true damage to them. Abyss does good damage versus organ guns themselves. A little bit nerfed on EP, but still really good. I like having the TCs next to each other. That TC might go down, though. The Dops are going in on it now. I think the TC is not going to make it.
No, the Dops are going to show it a bad time. I'm going to tear it down. The thing is, you're saying you like it, town centers next to each other. I'm looking at this thinking the Portuguese has been suffocated at the moment. Yeah. No more hunts. Berries out front. Only 1 man safe to gather. This is the Portuguese's worst nightmare at the moment. Kinesi is just putting the pain on the Portuguese players. Not allowed to boom and expand behind this. And the fact that German players in age 3 with vet Dops, but just age 3 in general, I thought this was colonial all-in for both players, really, or colonial continuous push. But the fact that you managed to sneak an age in, it's just going to be tough for Soldier Anxiety. They age up at the same time, which is a little bit questionable. I like, one person aging up and then the other person falling up once it's safe. Like, hey, the coast is clear, let's go. But 2 organ guns pushing out, but Kinesi, Tit, they're backing off. They know that a pop is available because they're in the 3rd age. And I think Kinesi is just waiting for himself to go to the next stage, and you can see he has the resources nearly to go to the next stage. That Abus will be on the floor soon, and maybe a 2 Falconet shipment push forward. Probably not, because it'll take a while to get sent forward. Yeah,
we do see that Tit is adding a stable now, and we see the organ guns have come out from Give You Anxiety. I think, honestly, a good option in this situation is to go organ guns and bow riders. You actually have an answer to all of the infantry, and then expected war wagons coming out. Bow riders do really well into war wagons. War wagons have melee resist. Bow riders also have melee resist, but they do really good versus high HP units due to it being a bow and a high rate of attack. So, yeah, we'll see what happens here. We do see that Ottomans is aging up right now. Once he gets veteran Abus, that's going to be really rough for Soldier and GUA to deal with.
Tit's throwing down a mid-map town centre on another coin mine, but he's already been working on his top 2 coin mines quite happily without being raided as of yet. So that is the German players' favourite situation. Happy on the map, not being raided when they can raid their own opponent. Only working with place mines, no amalgamation, but understandable for a map with low-ish resources, not overly high in terms of coin mines, lots of walking distance. Dop mass slightly growing, but at least the benefit, it's still alive. He hasn't thrown his Dops away, training even 5 more. And I think you can over-make Doppelsonders. It would be nice for Tit to transition to war wagons and maybe get a batch of 10 out behind his Abus guns. That way, I think then you can allow the Kinesi just to go for pure Abus and just don't have to worry about anything else in the world.
Yeah, I agree with you. There is some advantages to Dops, but yeah, without... Well, they're all split up now. Oh, the Dops and the Abus are split up. But yeah, no, I agree with you. War wagons are much better at both controlling the map. Obviously, they're faster than the Dops. Until the Dops get speedy upgrades, I don't like massing them too much. You need enough to ward off any cav that might come onto your Abus. But once you have enough for that, then focus on building other units or getting an economic advantage. We do see that the TCs are out and controlling the whole top side for Germany. By the way, thanks for the follow, guys. I appreciate it a lot. It is Afandi Emironitic. I hope I pronounced that right, but I appreciate you guys. And I'll have to take a look a little bit after this game. I think I got a really big donation earlier. The prize pool is much higher than it was. Perhaps while I was actually sleeping. But yeah, some crazy game coming in here. The Doppelsoldiers get on top of the dogs after the dogs that are taken out for Abyss. The Cassador.
Here.
Yeah, big battle. This is really, really important. If it can be microed, the organ guns go down. The Dops connect onto the rest of the units. The Dog Soldiers, if there's not enough Dops to clean up the Dog Soldiers, then the Dog Soldiers could clean up the Abyss. There's only 3 left in the middle of that fight there. War Wagons coming out now. And this is so rough. There's 5 dogs still standing. One of them goes down. We'll see if they're able to clean up the rest. Only 2 dogs onto the Abyss currently. But I think it's going to be just enough to control the, to keep the dogs off. And they call it. Oh. Alright, so we see some Doppelsoldier Abyss play. And Tit and Kinesi take it with that game. I'm going to let you break down that game and look at post-game stats. I'll be following you with that. I'm going to need to eat a little bit of something. I've ate almost nothing today.
So you won't
I'm
be
going to
following
myself.
me with that then. Just look, if you sit on the full screen, just look at the line of sight that Tit and Kinesi have. They have total and utter full map control, 3 TP stagecoach. Both players have an extra town centers, top side of the map and in the center of the map. Just starving and choking their opponents of natural resources. We did see that Soldier age up to the 3rd age with the Wise Woman granting bisons and hunting upgrades, which was needed to get out to those units like the Axe Riders and the Dog Soldiers. But apart from that, though, Coinmine's looking a little lackluster. Giving Zanti could have gathered onto Soldier's Coinmine, but did have his second, well, and his first Coinmine still going. So Giving Zanti not gathering too much coin, but ran out of hunts, houses to the southern side, town centers to the north, full ring vision of line of sight over their bases, and no villager was going to escape. That 3rd town center went down, but if it stayed up, it wouldn't have made a difference because villagers are only worthwhile when they have resources to gather, and gathering berries when you probably have steel traps and there are hunts nearby, it wasn't going to work well. The fight went actually, I think, overall, considering that starting position, the fight went all right for both players. Dops did their work. Dops also did get picked off by Castor and Bow Riders. Bow Riders having their melee resist 30%, but with no more military units and the opponent had weakened force, but no more military units to back out. You just cannot push out your base to gather any more natural resources, and then you come back to the same situation again, but with weaker army because you're lacking the ability to reinforce. Tit though happily send in 1k wood, refrigeration, Kinesi 1k wood himself, while Giving Zarti and Soldier were hanging on for dear life, sending 3 Dog Soldiers, 5 Axe, 2 Organs, 8 Cassador. Giving Zarti could have gone for Colonial Militia instead of 600 coin and just halted production of units for a bit to try and get up and give himself a little bit more protection, but double town center in base, you could have OP town centers, but you can't push out with them, you can't move them. Difficult to gather resources. I just think it was really well played from Kinesi and Tit in terms of the aggression and the map control. And this wasn't necessarily a gold starve, but just a resource starve, and made the opponents push out when they weren't fully ready or when they were behind in the military. They crushed a fight, Kinesi and Tit, or got a decent victory, but were able to play on from there. The other team wouldn't, and then the GGs were called out behind. 3 Dops, first card in the 2nd age. I can't remember the last time I ever saw that as a legit option in a ranked tournament game, but 2v2s continue to surprise me game by game. Kinesi, what else did he go? 2 coin crates, 3 husks, 4 vills. Didn't endlessly send crate shipments. I think he got the most crate shipments he could send, get the value out of them, and then went for the 3 hussars to help out. Those 3 hussars, I can't remember specifically whether that was a clutch shipment or not, but would have helped versus giving Anxiety's predominantly Expo mass. Tits 5 Ulans at 10 minutes 30 seconds, though, on top of about 5 Ulans. Easy pickup there, but then cut off the retreat from Soldier's Seaton Bow mass, and those Seaton Bows were cut down mercilessly. Well, no, without any mercy, shall I say. It was a bloodbath in the middle of the map, and I think once those Seaton Bows went down, yeah, Tinkency had stabilized. Their forward base stood strong throughout, and happy to play on from there. Quick look at the post game. If you guys in post game or not the post game, village accounts.
I'm there with you. Keep on talking.
Oh, you didn't respond earlier. Nice to see you back. Well, not really much else to say, really. Like, okay, Giving Anxiety had a good villager population, but couldn't really gather resources. Tit was double pumping villagers from town centers later in the game, but had a good eco with the 3 settler wagons and all the coin. Soldier losing a big raid, 6 vills due to those 5 Ulans and Dops in the middle of the map. And after he lost those vills from the forward hunt, then he realized he couldn't really be out on the map hunting. And then he lost all his villagers towards the end. I've completely missed that GG raid, but I'm seeing 8 Ulans straddling their way through Soldier's base, and yeah, that is, if you're losing all your eco, it is definitely game then.
Yeah, I was told in chat that we missed the fire pit vills, all 25 vills being raided and killed. So that's rough for Soldier. Definitely GG at that moment. Obviously, the player is a little bit better than us. They're able to pay attention to that, or at least Kinesi and Tit are able to pay attention to that while being in the middle of the fight. We're focusing on the middle of the fight, and we probably would have lost all those vills too.
Giving Anxiety, you know, he always says this: if you're fighting your opponent for a big clutch fight of the game, send some kind of a way to raid in your opponent's base or resources, because they can't. It takes more actions per minute to sort out a raid than it does to actually commit the raid. And it was only 8 Ulans at that point. I think they were veterancy upgraded, but I don't fully commit on that. The fact those Ulans picked up 25 vills.
That just sealed the deal.
If they lost that fight, all the Apis guns went down, Dops pressed the delete key, and the war wagons went the other way, they can just remask because they have the eco. Soldier had nothing. He had nothing left.
Yeah, 4 villagers I think is what he had, but yeah, that's crazy. Some excellent gameplay out. That just sealed the deal right there. I think we're gonna get into the next game now. Yeah, that was some exciting gameplay, though. Kinesi and Tit really showing their mettle there. All right, so I'm going to roll the civs real quick for you guys. I want to keep this going, keep it interesting for everyone interested. The first map, or the map, is going to be Colorado. And the civs, we'll get into that. It is India and India and China. Why is it loading Colorado for me? Did he change it?
Yeah, I think he clicked custom maps. I think the lobby's been closed. He will rehost. Yeah, I'll hop back in. It's fine. I just said no because you don't need to load a custom map at this point. It still says ESOC Colorado. No, it's not that. It's not a custom map, is it?
It says file transfer started for ESOC Colorado.xs. I don't know.
Wrong map, definitely. There's nowhere. Just standard maps, UIX. You see everyone's pings drop because they're downloading it, but you don't need. No, it's not. It's not this map. It's because it. Well, it does. It is this map actually because it has the right text.
Right, but I don't know what's going on.
Just standard maps, UIX, ESOC Colorado, but whatever.
You know what? I am not writing down this. So I paid attention to that instead of the spin. So China, I know China's spawned.
Please tell me that's giving anxiety.
China. Why are they... Okay, I'm gonna just tell... I don't know why Soldier is thinking it's a custom map.
I'm just backing out to they actually picked the right map.
Yeah.
It's not UI 2.2 East Colorado. We're not on 2.2 generation, are we?
No, it's just a normal map. Everyone has this map.
Oh, what is Soldier playing? Okay, now he's back on team map, so he's going to go through the normal map cycle. I think we're good now.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Yeah.
Give you a wow in the chat, please, from Soldiers forgetting which map it is. Or map sets.
Yeah, China and Japan is for Soldier and Give You Anxiety. And for Knisi and Tit, we'll get their civs out. It is Dutch and Otto. Knisi and Tit, Dutch, Otto. Yep.
So the theme for the first two games was Kinnessy Tit playing aggressive, Soldier and Giving Anxiety playing back, not having map control, and I think the map control is a massive element in 2v2. All games map control is a big element, so I'm not going to say which format it matters more, but if you haven't got the map control and you're into like 12 minutes and you're in berries instead of hunts and you starting to run around to get out of coin mines and you're losing vills due to raids on your resources because you can't push into the army because you don't have the military, it's gonna be a bit more difficult. If you win 2-1, it improves chances.
Yeah, if you win 1 to 2 games, China and Japan. Yes. Yep. All right. See what they do.
Oh, it's giving anxiety to Japan again.
Yeah, China and
Japan.
Wait, what?
Giving anxiety in random saves has got Japan 4 times tonight. It's quite funny, actually.
Well, honestly, I would probably reroll if I had China and Japan. Neither of them are very good age 2. Japan and China can get units out quickly, but their units are lackluster. The age 2 units not very good. Japan, they can't get units out, or if you're gonna play Japan standard, it's really hard to get units out quickly and still have a good boom behind it. So we'll see what they do. On the other hand, the other civs are Dutch and Ottomans.
Oh, quick question. Does it matter who plays Dutch and who plays Japan? So it looks like Kinnesy's loading up as Otto, Tit playing Dutch.
No, it doesn't matter. No. You the civs are rolled for your team and you can choose who plays what.
Ah, sweet. Nice. Click the ready up. As soon as Giving Anxiety clicks the ready up, I'll quickly go for a comfort break. I'll leave you to introduce the map, the players, and age 1 strats.
All right, so we have game number 3 between Give You Anxiety, Soldier, and Knisi and Tit. The map is Colorado. So on this map, it's I haven't seen it on 2v2 a whole lot, but I've played it a couple times recently on 2v2. This map is really important. It's really important to keep your opponent off of the hunts and mines on your side unprotected generally, and players that focus only on the middle of the map instead of focusing on the outsides of the map and the crossings on either side can definitely lose the game. If you're not on natural resources, you pretty much lose the game right off the bat. So we'll see what the players are going to do. Some expected unit composition out from Knisi and Tit would either be something like Janissaries and Cav or Janissaries and Skirms. On the other hand, Give You Anxiety, Soldier, I'm not quite sure what they're gonna do. It could be something like Naginata and Old Han, or Standard Army and Ashy. I'm not quite sure. Certainly, I would give the age 2 advantage over Dutch and Ottomans. Definitely, Soldier and Give You Anxiety are gonna have to do something crazy to be able to withstand a rush if Dutch and Ottomans decide to do so. You there, bud? I'll take it. You're just taking a bit of a break. That's okay. We're gonna get on to... Let me make sure... Oh, the game. All right, I got it for you guys. I'm sure you guys in chat are already mentioning that the overlay was not up and you were not seeing the game, but it's just the very beginning. Got it for you guys. I caught it before the 2-minute mark came in. So it is Japan and China versus Dutch and Ottomans. We'll see what happens here. We do see that a trade post came out from China. I'm guessing it was a wood start. Ottomans, of course, built a TP. Well done from them. What do you think might happen with unit compositions and build orders? I know China's a lot stronger in Age 3. Do you think they're going to attempt an FF?
Well done for you for clicking the correct scene to watch the game. That is full marks to the streamer there. I feel that China, it just wants to FF anyway. However, because they're in the center of the map, they're closest to the opponents, other town centers, and this TP on the trading route. It may be a bit risky for Giving Anxiety to go for this FF, and we all know that Giving Anxiety is a pro-China player. Very limited experience in China. I think Giving Anxiety's only build order he can really kind of get down would be the 700 coin FF, or maybe send something like Chukanu first or Pikes just hold any early pressure and then go for the FF behind this. I don't imagine Colonial Age from Giving Anxiety because it's just probably out of his kind of comfort of just delving into a random civ, random strats. Just play to your strengths, play to what you know. Soldier playing Japan. I think Soldier's a decent Japan player. He's had lots of civs. He was saying on stream he's not a Dutch player, but I know he's played Aztec. He plays many civs. I feel that Soldier playing Japan is probably a more wiser decision than giving Anxiety Japan once again. Going for the Shogun Shrine in base. And Portuguese consulate still staying there. I'm expecting bestiaries to come out very, very quickly before being changed to Japan isolation. Opponent civilizations, Dutch and Ottoman. This could be forward skirm Jan, and we do see some villagers coming out from the Ottoman player. That is Kinesi being scouted by the envoy of Tit. Where is purple? I do see a bit of purple somewhere. Okay, envoy is actually, he's scouting his own forward base, but he's trying to scout where Giving Anxiety is. One villager moving forward, trying to HUD us in. Is Tit joining for the forward base, or is he just going to stay at home and going to go for a full bank greed FF? And the amount of times I've played team games with you and the Dutch player just magically gets to the third age and has the best eco in the game, it's too many for me to count. I think Tit playing the eco game here is a sensible choice.
Yeah, it's definitely a sensible choice. The Dutch can eco super strong. Definitely the forward villagers, they were scouted out. Additionally, we see that Ottoman aged up at normal time, of course, really fast. Looking at the deck from GUA, I expect it to be an FF or a semi-FF. I don't expect a War Academy in Age 2, but he may send a military shipment to get that done. To help bolster the defenses. It is important that they see the units, the barracks and the artillery foundry coming out from Ottomans. So he's gonna change it up a little bit, going Abyss guns and Janissaries. And we see that Dutch is just going 5 banks, it looks like, or he doesn't even have forward villagers. He might do a semi-FF into Reuter. That's definitely an option.
I don't like this from Soldier. I feel that barrack should be right in the middle of Giving Anxiety's base and just minimize that time for reinforcements. You know that China's going to be the focus point of any aggression here. Giving Anxiety throwing down an in-base War Academy. Likely to be going 700 wood first cards here. One would assuming guess. He does have lots of villagers, so it's not an early military shipment, but could go 700 wood into Chukanu if he scouts out the artillery foundry and the barracks. I think Giving Anxiety is surprising us. He's not going to go for the bot FF, and he's realised that going for FF here is very risky. I won't go as far as saying suicide, but he's committed to chopping wood, and once you've committed to staying in Colonial or going for that slower play, you kind of have to stick to it because you're nowhere near age at this point. Even 700 coin won't get you close to the age up, so I'm expecting a batch of units and a Chukano shipment, and I believe he's sending military and training a batch as we speak.
Yeah, it's I really like the choice from Kinesi to put pressure, because your army composition or your army units are so much stronger for Dutch and Ottomans when in H2 compared to Japan and China. Japan has decent units. They're not bad, but they become a lot stronger later on in the game. China's are just kind of weak, to be honest. You don't have any of the really strong cav units that China has access to in H3. You don't have arquebus. You really are just kind of left with really early units. There's a really good mass out from Kinesi early. That's a lot of Abus and Janissaries. Honestly, he's looking at the military unit population. He has the lead over his opponents, and he's the only one that's built up for his team. So, well done from him so far. We'll see what Dutch is doing. He has built a stable to complement this. Is he about to... he's just getting cav out. Alright, so he goes for a 4-bank start and going into cav. That's interesting. 4 banks is a very unique it's very unique number to go for. He must have chopped a couple hundred wood or gotten a treasure or something, because you wouldn't have that otherwise.
Well, so... 1 bank in transition, 1 bank on the 400 wood age up, 1 bank from the 700 wood, and then the 1 bank from the bank shipment itself. What I like though from Tit, he went for the 700 wood first instead of 2 houses stable play. Gets you earlier hussars, but you do sacrifice quite a bit of eco for that and tempo. The fact that you go for the bank on the age up wood gives you XP to kind of push forward that shipment progression, and you still get hussars out probably about half a minute later, but you have the eco and shipments to back it up. And we now have Jan's Abus chasing down a naked batch of Yumi archers. Only now 5 ashes coming to protect, but enough Abus guns here. Potential for Kinesi's army to get traps, though. Let's not jump to conclusions. This is shaky ground here for Team Kinesi.
Yeah, looking pretty rough. There is not a whole lot of cav out. The cav are just now coming out from the back, but the pikes are in on some of them. The Chukonu are, Minutemen and irregulars and sentries called from both the China and Japan. That's really key, honestly, having that many extra units in the middle of this fight. I think they're going to clean this up and they're going to take this fight.
Yeah, I think they could have actually clutched a fight there if Titney just engaged with his hussars, but he ran around trying to protect his own units and not really paid too much attention to what Kinesi had on the map and what he needed to try and protect there. For a while, there's only 3 Chiang pikemen guarding 9 or 12 Chukanus, which could have been good pickings up for Tit, but I suppose when you had Concha, Yamabushis and Ashis pushing from behind, those hussars best get out of there. No worries though, looking at recalculated economic population, Tit team slightly ahead due to what Dutch is able to do, and that 600 wood shipment behind allows the 5th bank there. A late age up though from Dutch as a result of going for the 5th bank. I like aging up first and then build.
And then building
sure you get to the.
Okay, go ahead.
Just ensure you get to that next stage in a good timely manner.
Yeah, I don't know. I think in team games 5 banks is really good. You'll age up though just fine. His income is absolutely incredible. You can see just from the bar graph, if you will, his economy is better than everyone's in the game, including Soldier on Japan. And yeah, that's looking really, really good for them. It is important to note that the military advantage is over to Give You Anxiety and Soldier, but I think they're going to just take that military advantage to try to age up themselves. China in age 3 was much better than in age 2. We see that he is building a consulate right now. He very possibly may go for France consulate, and he's aging up just now. Okay, so he is aging with the porcelain tower, I believe, and consulate. He could either go for Brit musks or French French for the extra crates. Either are an option. Certainly in 1v1, Brit musks are more common, but team game, French resources are a little bit more common. They definitely pay off more over time.
I like he's aged up with 6 fills. Reduces a bit of that bump in time. You don't have a shipment ready to go yet, so it gets up super fast. Doesn't make or break the situation, and we're splitting hairs in terms of what Vil is better, but 6, 8 is it's what you need. So at least Giving Anxiety has that theory down, and it's been quite a nice semi-FF from Giving Anxiety. Actually, really impressed with that build. How he's able to adapt to the situation and play on from this. Does have a couple of sheep being sent over by Japan, but unfortunately they don't. Was that just a treasure then? Yeah, Giving Anxiety has found 3 stray sheep. That's nice. But unfortunately, they're only 50 food each and will take a long time to fatten. Livestock pens / villages are good, but they are quite slow now in EP compared to European livestock, and it would only really pay off in about 5-6 minutes time. So you could eat them now for an extra bit of 150 quick food, but it's not super impactful to eat them now.
I know on RE, on AP, they are nerfed in Age 1. I thought in Age 2 they were pretty much the same. Am I incorrect in understanding that?
I think it was actually Age 2 it was nerfed, or maybe both ages, but it gets better throughout the ages, but
okay.
Essentially, you no longer now get to the 3rd age with a full fattened goat. You probably eat it when about 150 food to get to that 3rd age on a decent time, but look at this. Soldier pushing up, mainly Yumi. Few Konchimibushi ashes behind. We're starting to go to a full Nagi mass. Soldier is showing us how Japan is to be played. Luckily though, Tit has gone into Reuter production. He's gone for early refrigeration, and that makes me cringe a very, very slightly. Very nice if you go in Hussars, but these Reuters cost only 30 food each. I feel that Cav combat or infantry combat if you're going greedy, but you still have the time to send 1 unit shipment, like 8 Skirm or 9 Reuters after 1k wood.
Yeah, he's obviously going Reuters, so he doesn't need food income a whole lot. But at the same time, when he sent it, he didn't have a whole lot of Reuters, so I think it's an okay decision. I don't think he had actually a very good shipment to send out that moment. He could have sent 9. He could have sent 9 Reuter. That'd be half decent. Could have sent skirmishers. It would have been half decent also. But he goes for refrigeration. He still has 8 villagers on food, so perhaps he's gonna want to age up soon or something. I don't know. You don't need that many villagers on food if you're producing Reuter out of 1 stable. He does have a 2nd stable though, so we'll see what happens. Obviously, the banks are not taken into that equation, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Kinesi is age 3. He does not have a 2nd TC out. I don't see anywhere on the map. Yeah, some good. Did he get any vills there?
That's where the rest of Tit's army was. I was wondering where some of the hand cav was, because that Reuter mass is quite nice, but you feel you have a bit more. Giving Anxiety is currently down 5 villagers, but the Porcelain Tower makes up for that. And Giving Anxiety's eco is in a decent position, but not as strong as Japan or Dutch is. Dutch has now sent Cav Combat, but has gone for double Reuter Cannon production, which is a very nice 1v1 strategy. Pure Reuter to protect the cannons, let the cannons deal with anything else which isn't a cavalry unit. And there you go, 4 cannons unloading, Giving Anxiety not pulling back. We'll lose 3 units first volley. I'm hoping Tit can split up his Falcons, or even let the AI just split them for you, get some good volleys. That's another 4 units going down there. Another batch coming in, that's number 3 gone down there. Now the Nagi's on top, but it's just veteran Reuters blocking from the Nagis. Nagis are falling. I know you absolutely love the Reuter unit, but the Reuters are crushing versus the Nagis. So many resources going down for Japan here. This is an excellent fight from Tit. Kinesi's helping out as best he can with a few Avis guns behind, but the fact that Kinesi bought the time for Tit to go Eco FF, great fight here for Dutch, and the Eco behind this for Dutch, untouched, untampered with, can bounce back very strong. Yeah, and even Kinesi going 3rd age now, I think they're in a good, strong position post-fight, and Hussar flank on this, mainly Chukunu Arquebusier mass. Yeah,
really good micro out from Tit there. He protects all of his cannons from the Naginata. 3 of them still alive. Lost a couple towards the end of that fight, but yeah, as you're saying, really, really good fight. It is interesting, all of the fighting is in the middle of the map. A little bit of raiding on the top side of the map from the Cav from Tit, but on the bottom side of the map, outside of a couple of shrines, it's not, we don't see Soldier and Give You Anxiety doing a whole lot down there. They haven't really expanded, the teams have not really expanded to their extra hunts and mines a whole lot. Have started to right here, and whatnot, but they haven't done it a whole lot. So we'll see what they're able to do there. Falconet's just doing a whole lot right here, getting a good volley onto the Arquebus, and yeah, Not having any Flying Crows, not having the Confucianist Academy, he would have had one out at least at this point if he had aged up with that. But yeah, it's looking rough for Soldier and Give You Anxiety. But Soldier is aging to 3 right now. That's so late. You have the biggest fight perhaps of the game before you even hit age 3. That's what I was saying about Dutch and Ottomans just having a slightly better advantage, I think, in this game.
Tit is going for the advanced church as Dutch. I know a bit of Dutch myself. He has 18 vills chopping wood with the log flume, and not often do you see players remembering to get their second tier wood upgrade. Good upgrade here will allow them to get those extra banks with relative ease, increase the bank count from 5 to 7. And if you're going pure writer, you need the extra coin. 2 extra banks really helping out. Could go on to 3 stable production with the wood bin to help house in. Tit mainly has a lot of food available. Could go for Vet Huss, another big batch of Huss. Huss raiding top side. Lots of villagers mining, but nearby villagers support. However, this is pure infantry from Giving Anxiety, and it's not going to work well versus 4, 5 cannons, 6 cannons. 6 cannons? 6 cannons from Tit. Summer Palace going down. Abus working the way on the Arquebusiers. The Arquebusiers getting outclassed by the Abus guns. No repelling volley just yet from the Arquebusiers. And now the Porcelain Tower is at risk, and this is a big part of Giving Anxiety's eco.
Yeah, it is 4 wood trickle a second. Trickle over there. We do see that the raiding Hussar from Tit were cleaned up by the Qingdao. A good surround on them. But yeah, the TC is focused, in fact, from the Falconets. Yeah, just really good mass. It's going to be hard. Oh, and here comes the engagement. Oh! Look at all those Qingdaos! That was crazy! That was an amazing volley from Tit. He must have... His micro is so much better than mine. I'll say that much. And the surround on those Falconets come in. All of those Falconets go down. It looks like Soldier and Give You Anxiety are able to hold this here. That was an amazing volley on those Qingdaos coming out, but I'm not sure. I don't know. This is a really close fight.
I think we're biased. We're screaming our heads off over 9 weak Chinese units going down, but when 5 Falconets gets absolutely wiped by the Qingdaos, we don't even budge an eyelid. We're like, oh yeah, Falconets, yeah, sure, easily replaceable. But that volley, that's just the effect. That's the effect of all the area effects just stacking on top of each other, and the splash damage coming in clutch there.
You're completely right. The Falconets are much more important than like 9 Qingdao or however much died in that volley. But it was really just an amazing micro, is why both of us were just incredibly amazed by that. They come out of the TC and he clicked on different Qingdaos right there and takes down so many of them with one volley. Splash damage. If he focused just one, it would have been like what, like 4 Qingdaos or something. But he takes down so many Qingdaos with that amazing micro, and yeah, that was just exciting to watch.
This has been fun. This has been fun. I think the fact that it's Soldier and Giving Anxiety makes it even more fun, but it's been relatively close games as it is. However, Giving Anxiety is starting to kind of fall off that curve. He's being pressured at the front by Kinesin Tit continuously. He doesn't have the eco to back it up. Well, the Porcelain Tower still stands. I thought under the pressure of 6 Falconets, that being the first thing to pick off. Soldier having to carry the day with his Disciplined Yumi Golden Pavilion upgraded archers. However, looking at Tit's score and the fact that he's gone for Advanced Church into double Bank of Rotterdam, Bank of Amsterdam, and I think he's got the banks out himself. Maybe it's hard to try and find all of them on the actual screen at once.
It's all 8, yes.
It's 9 banks, 45 vills, untouched eco. Tits soon begins to the 4th age, and I'd really like to see cancel some 2 factories into heavy cannon production and not resources from the Dutch, because they already have enough as it is, and heavy cannons, there's nothing really these guys can do apart from a big hand mortar mass, but I don't think Giving Anxiety has got the 250 IQ for that switch when it happens. But even just industrial guard hussars, carabinier Breiters, going for the range cavalry Caracol now. Cavalry Crace already in for the vet hussars as it is. And a mobile army can just run around Soldier and just let his eco do the work in the back. And that's probably what it is. He's just moving, just buying time. And the longer it goes on, the better it goes for Tit and Kinesi here. It really is. Eco advantage, military strength advantage, definitely. And Soldier, he does have his great coats. He's surprising me. Japan play getting his great coats. Never seen that before.
Well, I guess they've heard you cast enough that they add that. It is worth noting, despite the economic advantage being, well, it was really close not that long ago, but it is 134 to 106 actually. Big advantage over the Kinesi and Tit currently. We see that the one thing that isn't taken into account into that is that you get free villagers for Ottomans. So really, your score, your resources stretch a lot more as Ottomans because you're not spending resources building villagers. You're getting that for free. So he's it looks really good for him there. We do see a fight coming in the middle of the map. I like the choice of going Abus here. Abus get really strong in the H3 and H4 with getting extra range on EP, but he's fighting 1v2 kind of here. But both teams kind of pull back a little bit. Yeah, Dutch hitting H4 right now has a really big cavalry mass. Let's see, do the Ashi have any upgrades? They do not have any upgrades outside of Disciplined. So, yeah, it's going to be hard to see what Give You Anxiety and Soldier can do here. They are significantly behind it in score. It's a total of around 150, make that 250 score difference. 222 and 151, and then 323, 224. Sorry, 150 score difference. Bad math. Been told don't do math on stream. Sorry about that.
Yeah, well, you can see the Dutch player backing off here, just like we've seen in the previous series with some musket playing versus Max Bogus' team Black Dutch. Dutch player backing off, waiting for the guard tech to come through, and guard hussars very strong tech, especially when you have this many hussars. I've seen ranks of 3 by 10, 30 hussars there easily. And actually, who needs guard hussars? Just turn onto the Yumi Archer mass as it is. Ashi's moving in behind this. Ava's guns were getting picked off. I think they wanted to pull trigger now just to keep the army interested before guard hussars actually come in, but you need to kind of protect the Ava's guns. I think once the guard hussars are there now, they might just turn and fight this. Are there any raiders nearby to back up, form that back line behind the hussars? Doesn't look like it, but fear not, we have Bridie's Bar and Broads out on the field. Manchu and Corsairs available if needs be, but I don't think you need that if you've got guard hussars here and skirms backing you up.
Yeah, the skirms coming out. They're veteran skirmishers currently. That has not upgraded them yet. But look at the heavy cannons popping. Horse cannons popping right now, and that's a lot of cav. You need to engage in a big open field though. If there's all in the trees, that could be rough. But that's just so many guard hussars. They're an excellent unit for their stats, attack and HP. I think they're going to clean this whole up. This whole army up. Yeah, Soldier and Give You Anxiety recognize that, and they call it GG. Well played. It is 3-0 over to Kinesi and Tit. I thought GUA and Soldier would be able to at least throw up a game by now. We'll see if they're able to do it by the end of the series. What were some of the highlights of that game for you, Harrison?
Oh, wow. Wow. Where do I start? That The nine units being picked off by that 6 Falconet volley, which, you know, in its own sense isn't actually that great of a volley. You know, you've got 9 cheap units for 6 Falconets. You'd hope for like maybe, but if you could actually micro those and actually task them individually, hoping for at least 10 to 12 units there, and then losing the Falconets. But I think what the game real boiled down to was Kinesi's forward base. With a 1v1 style, Barracks Abus gun production. You know, team games usually players focus on one single type of unit, as it was. Kinesi went for the Barracks Abus gun. The Barracks Artillery Foundry getting those Abus guns out, forcing Give You Anxiety into a semi-FF build instead of a fast fortress. And we all are scared of the China FF death ball. But if you're slow to the third age, then you don't have that same momentum when you get there with the slower shipment progression. And the fact that both Soldier and Give You Anxiety were really slowed down by Kinesi's play just allowed Tit behind to go for 700 wood, bank wagon, eco play, and then get the stable on the 700 wood as the kind of the last bunch of that wood, and then get a full batch of 5 hussars, just enough to play around with. 600 wood comes in for the 5th bank, FF's behind there. I would have preferred to see Tit age up after making the 5 hussars, gather the wood up, but don't spend it. Get the age up in queue, then drop the 5th bank because the bank costs food and it delays it a little bit. But once Tit got to the next stage, Raiters are there backing up the Aegis guns and Jan's. Artillery Foundry drop 1,000 wood, really economic, getting those Falconets up, but then going for 9 banks over the 3 cards. Vance Church and double bank, Rotterdam, Amsterdam. The eco is just uncontested, unchallenged, and Japan is the kind of eco play for what Giving Anxiety was relying on his brother to sweep in with the massive eco. Just couldn't keep up, and even at the end, Guard Hussars with a very smart switch to horse artillery. The 3 horse artilleries were just enough to really help pick apart the Ashigaros, because without the artillery, the Ashigaros could have got some good trades with the close combat card if it came in, but I think they had overextended. The Hussars out in the field, and the game was over, and it's 3 points to Kinnessy and Tit. Giving Anxiety's team yet to get on the board, and what can I say? The team from France, the team from Europe, giving the Americans what they deserve. Sorry, Jailed.
Yeah, one thing that's really important to note on this map, if you put pressure on the opponent's resources, so I know you can't see this, Harrison, but I'm showing the viewers. Tit and Kinnessy spawn over here, and this is kind of your side of the map here, with all the Hudson mines on the right-hand side of them, and on the other hand, Soldier and Give You Anxiety have this over here. And this game, if you are able to raid your opponents, as Tit did to Give You Anxiety, keep him off of those natural resources, and on the other hand, if you are able to gather your resources for free on your side of the map, that's almost a free win right there. Every single game I've seen on this map has come down to that. Obviously, there's other things that come into play before that even becomes a factor, such as Kinnessy rushing, them getting an advantage at different times. But there was a point where Soldier and Give You Anxiety had a really big military advantage, and they could have perhaps done something with it at that point. But yeah, really good game. I'm going to check on the post-game statistics for you guys real quick. Just trying to show it real quick. I want to get into the next game, but I'll show you this real quick.
Yeah, I'll leave you to it. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I feel wrong to bail at this time of night, so I will tuck in for a good night's sleep, and I'll leave in the capable hands of Jailed. I'm sure Jailed, though, if there is someone spare in the chat who wants to get in this action, I'm sure Jailed would love the company. But yeah, it'd be nice casting the first 3 games with you. I did say I'll bail early, and that time has come.
Yeah. All right, I am gonna message someone real quick. About joining. I want to say really quick, thanks for all the follows, and also Harrison, if you're still around, thanks so much for casting with me. I appreciate it a lot. I always enjoy a good cast with you.
No worries, bit of fun as well. You and Giving Anxiety, you sort the tournament admin stuff, you sort all the hard work. I just come in for the fun cast and just go to bed afterwards. It's easy for me, fun for me, and hopefully fun for all of you guys there. So easy enough for me to drop by any time, and I will be back again for some more 2v2s at a later point in the tournament, I would assume. Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be around later. You have a good one. I will catch you later. We're going to look at some of the post-game statistics. We already are. I'm messaging a couple players real quick. If Give You Anxiety and Soldier do not take a single game, it's going to be really rough. They may not even make it to quarterfinals. But yeah, this is going to be interesting to see. I'm going to go to show you guys the rest of the post-game statistics real quick. Go to team and military unit population. Yeah, we see right here, right here, Soldier and Give You Anxiety actually had a military population advantage for a little while. Resources gathered for team, and you can see that there. Just Kinnessy and Tit just running away with that, despite having an Ottomans where you generally gather less resources, but your military, the military prowess that you have as Ottomans usually makes up for that. We'll get into the next game here. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let me get into it. All right. right. And Riot says he could co-cast. I'm gonna call him real quick. I had called him just a second ago, or messaged him just a second ago. I'm calling him now. We'll see if he's up for it. I'm gonna randomize. I'm gonna randomize the maps and the civs real quick for you guys. Let me show you that, and I'll remember to get off the screen for you guys too. So Colorado, it was the last map, and the current map is DACA. And yeah. India. It is play all 5 Perez. Okay, you already saw that. India and China. Soldier, GUA, India, China. And for Knisi and Tit, it is ports and Russia. Check tributed. Yeah, let me take a look at that while I am waiting for Riot Coke here. Let me see. One second. It's not showing up there. Oh, check tree. Oh, I see in the game. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, guys. All right. Hey, Riot, how's it going, man?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Doing well myself. Some exciting games so far. I really hope Soldier and Give You Anxiety are able to take a game or two, give them a chance to get into quarterfinals. That'd be a shame if they lost all 5 to Knisi and Tit.
I was watching the last game, and it's pretty close. Pretty down to the wire at one point, but I think yes. Tit's economy just pulled them through, right? He had 9 banks or something. But, sort of midway through, GOA only sending normal sort of China shipments, which doesn't really work into. But yeah, hopefully we can get a game. Obviously, Soldier and GUA are pretty good players, especially Soldier. Soldier being sort of top 10, top 15 nowadays, normally one at least.
Yeah, for sure. They're really good players. Russia and China are the new civs for Soldier and GUA. And they just re-rolled. I don't know if you caught that, but it is Japan and India for Knisi and Tit.
So this is quite worrying for GUA's team here. Russia and China. Obviously, Russia's pretty good on team. China a bit lackluster maybe, but yeah, Tit and Knisi getting Japan and India, especially on this map. Obviously, Knisi known for playing water, and also known for playing Japan, and Tit, on the contrary, actually known for playing India. So really, I think this is probably the worst of all we could probably got GUA and Soldier. But again, Russia and China, pretty good versus these civs. Not too bad against Japan and India themselves. So we'll have to wait and see what we do.
Yeah, definitely an FF is possible on this map. Also, China is exceptional on water, so I think they have a chance if it comes to water fighting. Looking at the chat real quick, you guys were asking why it's play all 5. That's because brackets. Also, while we're here, while on the subject, if you guys want to see the brackets, the current brackets, you can look in my About section. I am going to be posting it there. I also will be posting at the end of the day all of the results onto ESOC forums. I've been doing that as I've been told the scheduled matches. So why it's best playoff 5? Just for the play-ins, it's playoff 5. For only 8 teams, 8 out of the 14 teams are going to make it into quarterfinals. And the fact that it is playoff 5 will allow us to more accurately see who gets into the. We'll more accurately be able to do the seedings for everyone. So yeah, that's it. It is game number 4 here. It is Riot Coke co-casting Soldier and Give You Anxiety versus Kinnessy and Tit. I'm glad you're able to join me here for the game, right?
Yeah, it should be fun, especially Kinesia on water. We haven't really seen it for a while, so it should be quite a spectacle to watch, really, especially in team, where it's even more important.
Yeah, this map, I think, water maps are a lot. Give China a strong option when it comes to team games. It is worth noting that Japan can be pretty strong on this map, though, being able to gather from berry bushes really fast, and Indians are strong, of course, themselves. Russia, China, Japan, India. We could also see a really strong rush from Soldier and Give You Anxiety. Russia and China together have a pretty potent rush, certainly versus Japan, and then India at higher levels. They don't usually age quite as fast, so a really strong rush could surprise them. We'll see what they do. What do you expect from as far as build orders from these players?
So obviously, I think Kinesia, everyone knows how he plays, especially on water. Tends to be a bit more relaxed, be a bit more slow as a player, and go for that late game. But this map for Japan, you would think that's quite good, but also you have a negative of not being able to shine a lot in normal team games and in normal maps as well. This sort of area at the top, you'd be able to shine. There'd be some hunts there, but there isn't. And so you sort of have to shine your back hunts, which is quite awkward when you have a teammate as Japan. But yeah, I think Japan and India are going to go for a late game. Those two civs tend to do very well in the late game. Obviously, Russia does well, and China do well in the late game as well. But I mean, Kinesia is going to go water. What else does anyone expect, basically?
Yeah, it is worth noting that Kinnessy is not. He did not spawn close to the water. So also at the same time, Give You Anxiety did not. It is pretty worth it to spawn the opponent's back hunts. That is an option. That's pretty much your only option. Of course, you could shrine your own, but yeah, as we mentioned, that's not ideal. We do see the Orchard Rickshaw out from Japan is gathering a lot of cows. If the Disciple from China sees that, he may be able to. Oh man, they just passed. They just passed. If he would have seen that, I don't think that Orchard Rickshaw would have gotten back to the base of Japan. So really, really lucky out from Kinnessy there. That could have been game-changing for sure. And 5,000 resources. One thing that is worth noting is while Japan gathers from berry bushes really fast, and there's a lot of berry bushes on this map, Japan specifically on this map does not spawn with berry bushes when by their TC. All other civilizations spawn with berry bushes, but not Japan. So we'll see what happens here. We're on to shipment, so you guys can see as soon as someone has shipped something, and we do see that Give You Anxiety has gone with Northern Refugees. No surprise there. He did build a TP Age 1 to shore up some of that weakness.
Yeah, so the reason why Japan doesn't actually spawn with berries here is because we have a Bhakti upgrade in the Bhakti Temple doesn't actually affect cherry orchards. It only affects the sort of natural berry bushes which spawn on the map. So I think it's more of a balanced reasoning if you have that Bhakti upgrade. I think it's the same as hunting dogs, if someone could prove me wrong. But anyway,
no, you're correct.
If you look at Kinese's deck, it isn't actually a water deck.
Tits is, though.
Camming here. Tits is, yeah. So this isn't normally what you'd see. Normally you'd see Kinese going water, obviously.
Yeah.
Maybe the better player, but you can see Bombay Marine being in there, as well as East Indiaman. So Bombay Marine, if anyone didn't know, for the Indian player here, does do the same sort of thing as Schooners. It reduces the speed well, it actually increases the speed your fishing boats come out, right? And obviously you do have East Indian, which is basically the dock for the Indian player. But he does go for distributism, which may show him that he's going to go for sort of more of a land-based approach instead. Yeah, that's Khaleesi, as I said, going for Kami, not going for that Team Eco Fleet, which may be slightly better. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, the Bombay Marine doesn't actually affect fishing boats. It only affects military boats. It's going to affect all caravels. It's kind of like the ports upgrade, if you will.
No, the Bombay Marine does. It does because it's just ships. It's straight ships. It does. Oh no, you are right. No, I'm wrong. All military boats. That's weird. The tag is.
Yeah, it's a little bit bugged, but yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit similar to ports where you are able to get train warships faster, but yeah, it's one of the reasons why I consider India, at least in team games, a top civ on water. They do really well. You get you get several good cards for them, and you of course already gather wood faster because you're India. So it's definitely an option. We do see a dock coming out here, little cheeky dock that could be really key, especially with with Soldier having a water deck hint in of himself. We'll see what the player is able to do here. It looks like a really good game in store for us. I'm excited. It is Russia and China versus India and Japan. We'll see what's able to if Soldier and Give You Anxiety are able to take a game off of Khaleesi and Tit or not.
Yeah, and really, actually, every game sort of matters, doesn't it? If you can get 2 games in, there's still a chance you can go through to the next round, depending on how well other people do, of course. But yeah, Villagers putting down that dock on the left-hand side, especially now there's one going on the right-hand side, is particularly important. Now a dock going down for Soldier, but really, when it comes to water, whoever gets the first dock down is a massive advantage. Simply because the more fishing boats you have out, the more you can put in those docks, get more damage off when the docks are next to it, right? When you put them in, the dock gets an attack against warships. Although we have to wait and see what Soldier actually produces now. You might see GUA sort of go for 2 war junks, and Soldier go for his comparative 2 caravels at the same time whilst training a caravel, and sort of push water off and stop Tit from going water at all. We do see Viagra being quite defensive, as well as some walls going down for both players. Soldier now even putting down a wall of his own, and quite a forward blockhouse. Yeah, I mean, at this point in the game, it's still anyone's game, obviously. But GUA going for a bit of a weird build, actually going for a market in transition instead of what I would like to see be a sort of second trading post as China.
Yeah, that's partly because his teammate Soldier has taken the other trade post as Russia. So, yeah, not enough TPs to go around unless they took one off of the opponent's side. It is GUA. He is about to age up in just a bit, looking at the resources of everyone else. Khaleesi just booming away with his shrines. He's in the back of the opponent's base here, getting some good shrines out. I don't know exactly what it's like in 1v1 for sure. I haven't seen Japan on this map in 1v1 a whole lot. But the shrines and team, you can build a lot. Yeah, some good fighting going on over there. 3 caravels out for Soldier, only 2 for Tit. We'll see if they're able to make something happen here. Tit pulls back. Yeah. Yeah,
but Tit is pulling back. Soldier to get some nice shots on that Godvari caravel there. No caravels in queue actually for Tit, but there is actually a second, even a 4th one in queue for Soldier. With GUA going up, once GUA gets up, he does have the 3-team fire junks, which is actually quite a strong card. 6 fire junks, especially versus sort of docks and versus other caravels. They do really well. More caravels being on the left-hand side for Soldier, taking down that dock and Tit. That's going to be taken down quickly. 3 fishing boats out for Khaleesi as well. Yeah, I mean, both these players are now just contesting the water, which I think is going to be sort of key to the map.
Yeah, water is important on this map. Berry bushes matter a lot too, but water can definitely swing the game in your favor or not. We see an extra dock coming up here, so definitely, I'm not sure Give You Anxiety scouted that with his Disciple, I think perhaps he scouted the shrine. That shrine perhaps a little bit unlucky. Going to show the villager perhaps and the dock there. But that's what happens. And 4 caravels out for soldier. It is 2 caravels for Give You Anxiety. Kinesi building a dock.
Yeah. He needs a dock. He didn't. He basically, at this point, I think Tit just needs some help from Kinesi just to get that up. But and gets all of some more caravels or the foons out from Japan even. But yeah, improved warships now coming in. I'd really like to see GUA either shipping through fire junks here or 1 Fukan. A Fukan is so strong here. Like a Fukan can take on probably 3 caravels on its own. And now that the fishing boat economy is being harassed, there is Eastern medicine now coming in, so these fishing boats do get an advantage. Weirdly enough, I think the UI is a bit bugged, so Kinesi's fishing boats also show they've got the same upgrades. But yeah, I mean, I think GUA's team is in a good spot here. They obviously are still behind on Eco, but China has the tower up. They're in H3. They are getting pressured a bit here on the land with some sepoys and 2 Yumis and obviously those 2 elephants. But China sending 1,000 coin a bit odd. I mean, I would have preferred a Foon or something like that, just one of the Fukan just to help on the water there. But we'll have to wait and see what GUA does. But definitely the water's at the advantage for GUA's team, Soldier's team.
Yeah, they definitely have the advantage at the moment. We'll see if they're able to keep a hold of it. Sepoy coming in onto the villagers of GUA. There's a few Chukunu in the back. I'm guessing that's from the Summer Palace. They're not coming forward to help clean this up. Honestly, just the Minutemen called now. Irregulars and sentries both called. Although Sepoy should go down. Some Yumi coming in though. It's not very big army, honestly. This isn't going to be game-changing right here. What is perhaps going to be game-changing is how the naval battle goes. We also see that Tit and Kinesi are Tit's over here gathering from some fish there. What were you going to say?
Yeah, watching GUA play team is not me, right? Obviously, you play a lot of team yourself. I played a decent amount. I played it more so with your streams actually recently. But GUA just shipping sort of 10 arquebus there and team is it's just such a waste. There's so many better shipments you could send team. I mean, basically at this point you want to take the water right. So that's the main thing just going on here. That small land scale, it doesn't really matter. Build a bags, build sort of two lots of arquebus there from there. Instead of sending arquebus there, 10 arquebus there, which could be something a lot better. It could be that Fukan as I was talking about, all the 3 fire junks, and that would just secure a seat. And the more time you give Kit and Kinesi now, the worse it's going to end up getting for GUA's team, which I think is going to be the mistake, which might end up losing them the game actually.
Yeah, 10 arquebus is okay. It's fine to have a few military shipments, but you want to use them only if you're getting pressured really hard. We do see that Kinesi has hit age 3, and we'll see what he has in queue. He does not have any military units or naval units in queue currently. The caravels are engaging. Lots of damage onto one of the caravels from Soldier, and also a caravel from Tit is low. All 3 of the caravels from Soldier are low, and it looks like Tit is going to lose the first caravel. He's going to pull back the Soldier's going to pull back the rest of them. These these fishing boats over here are doing a lot of work, honestly. The step riders just out of sight of the house and the villager. That would be pretty key to find those and find that dock over there. So a little bit of fighting going in. We do see that Tiger Claws have been trained some. We'll see if they go with them. Tiger Claws are really good versus skirmisher type units. Somewhat lackluster versus other things, but they're somewhat like a Lancer type infantry unit, if you will, or a Lancer is incorrect because they're actually really bad versus heavy infantry. But yeah,
they're like the Naganatas. They have the same sort of bonuses as Naganatas. That elephant just got up on its own. I don't know how that just happened. It's a bit odd. He got up at 96 HP, but we're not talking about that. But yeah, Tit and Kinesi in a good spot here. They have the trading post line. They have the water. It will be contested at some point, but now rendering plants even coming in. Team JAILEDaoe, funnily enough, actually coming in for Kinesi, which does affect those fishing boats. for 8%, which is nothing to snuff at. 8% on coin on sort of whales is quite significant, seeing the base is quite high. And really on land, they're not pressuring too much. Obviously, the only people who are actually doing anything on land are GUA and GUA went industrial. I didn't see that. But that frigate style warship in the middle of the pond is going to be difficult to really take on as GUA and Soldier here.
Yeah, that's a big warship. With that lake control, that could be really, really useful for keeping the opponents off of, or just giving you control of the map. I do like that Tit and Kinesi have control of the berry bushes. There's a little bit of a debate between high-level players whether the water or the berry bushes is more valuable. Generally, it's that water is more valuable, but berry bushes are just so valuable. If you have berry bushes and your opponent have water, you still have a good chance in the game. So it's looking close here. We do see that Soldier has scouted some of the fishing boats out from Tit, and he is sending the caravel over now to kind of deal with it. It is only 2 docks out from Soldier, several more from Kinesi and Tit, and they kind of have control of the water at the moment.
Yeah, and you were talking about the berry bush upgrade and the trading posts, which are both back to here, which actually are being controlled by both Tit and Kinesi. So they both have the berry upgrade here. Japan on the berries is insane. Tit might, no, not Tit. Kinesi might actually want to move his villagers off the cherry orchards because unfortunately cherry orchards, as I said earlier, don't get that bonus from that back to upgrade. But yeah,
looking at the upgrades on the villagers, neither of them have gotten that upgrade though. Neither of them have gotten the Bhakti. No, they haven't. They have the trade post, but they haven't gotten that. So
that's pretty odd, actually. I would have assumed they would do, be seeing as it's so good.
Yeah, it's 100 wood, 100 coin, and it's very, very strong. Yeah. We do see a castle up here. Is that villager going to go down? It does go down.
Castle, oh, I think the castle's not going to go up, but it's also not going to go down. Although a couple of steps come in here. Steps do have quite good siege. 25 times up by 4 is 100 each torch. And that probably will go down. Although Caravel will be able to sort of defend it, probably. But yeah, I mean, the water's still a sort of 50-50 here. Maybe it's slightly an advantage to Tit. He is getting some castles down, which do have a good siege attack, 100 siege attack. But again, that town centre and the blockhouse with that 40 range, actually, this sort of middle portion, if you were to like split the middle down like here, this is where the sort of the fight's going to be on water, I think, because of just how many sort of town centres, how many blockhouses are there. GUA does have the ability to ship his Fukan still, which I think would help, or even Team 3 Fire Junks, or possibly just try and get a dock down and build some units of his own.
You know what would be really, really clutch? Something I don't expect, but it could totally win them the game, I think, is give you anxiety and Soldier, where to push in and try to trap your opponent's army, opponent get into the warship, and then Team 3 Fire Junks arrive and they take that out. That would be so clutch. That'd be really cool to see.
mean, yeah, Fire Junks do insane damage, actually. But,
they do.
Yeah. But yeah, look at this bush over here. There's 8 flaming arrows. We saw this quite a bit earlier, actually. And I don't know, I think it was in Max Mogus's game, we saw Japan. Actually, on this map as well, Japan just having 8 flaming arrows and dominating the other teams. But Flying Crows don't do actually too badly against flaming arrows. They do have less range, but they do sort of one-shot them. A GUA coming towards a lot of arquebusiers here, and flaming arrows against actual units, even though they do have the upgrade here. They don't do incredibly well. They do well, but they're not as good as sort of Falconets do. But there's the Bombay Marine coming in, as you said. As you were talking earlier, how powerful it would be just to spam out caravels, spam out units.
Yeah.
Would have preferred to see sort of improved warships though. 25% armor, 20%, 25% HP, 25% damage is pretty incredible on caravels. You can look at the soldiers' caravels now. They have roughly 75 attack, 1,400 HP, comparative to the Tits, which only have 50 attack and 1,200 HP. So it's a significant difference. And when you add on to, it also affects frigates and stuff. It's just really good, but they are getting pushed on land still.
Yeah, it's a very interesting card because it makes you train units faster and then also give you build bounty. So it's it kind of gives you a little, I mean, it's somewhat of an eco card, not really, but it does give you more XP from building ships, and at the same time, it if you send it and then later you send the improved warships, it's definitely better to send the faster train one first. We do see monitors out from Kinesi. That's really nicely done from him. Monitors are going to do a whole lot here. They're going to do a whole lot just controlling this whole map. Monitors in the lake are amazing.
Especially versus China. China obviously relies quite heavily on those flying crows. Monitors do very nicely against flying crows, especially when they get this ship's howitzers in. Actually, some of GUA's wonders there, especially the Forcing Tower, is at risk of getting sort of taken down on those monitors, but Colvo is being trained by Soldier at the same time, will take out some of those flaming arrows. GUA sort of Z moving onto this map, it's quite hard to see what's really happening here, because they all comes up and the horde and Damien makes it slightly difficult as well, but almost certainly Tech is on this fight.
Yeah, we saw that the monitor got a good shot off onto the flying crows, killed one, and then the other two were really low HP, using just the flaming arrows to finish those off. We do see that a bank wagon was shipped to the front, to the daimyo, but he pulls them back. Culverins are under risk now. They have a lot of range resist, 75% range resist, but I don't see why they would not go down. Looking really rough for giving Anxiety and Soldier here. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull this off.
And again, I think it sort of points out GUA's problem not sending any upgrades, not sending any sort of eco upgrades at all, or even military upgrades. I mean, Archibus says here for China are really strong. You do get a lot of them when you send those unit shipments. But just imagine if he had, I don't know, the counter infantry rifle for China. He doesn't even have in deck for a team deck. That's really poor. That's probably China's best attribute in team. You're being able to have sort of 3x versus Ashigo, or 3x versus Dragoons, or even infantry combat here would be really strong, and he's just going to end up dying to Onijumi and disability to Ashigo and these flaming arrows. And as for C, I mean, they are cleaning up C now, but the C has sort of been scavenged for its resources. There's not a huge amount of resources left, and yeah, this fight is a lot invested for not a huge amount of gain.
Yeah, looking rough for Give You Anxiety. If you look at the scores, Give You Anxiety is down 230 score pretty much compared to Kinesi. So he is definitely an uphill battle from him there. And we see that Kinesi is hitting age 5 right now. Imperial coming in for him. That's really important. I mean, it's just going to seal the game here. And we see that he uses the Buddha to age up with, so he sees the whole map. No surprises.
Yeah, at this point, I think you just GUA and Soldier. Soldier is age 3 versus age 5, and obviously Japan age 5 is pretty ridiculous. You can see with Ashigo, even without the upgrades, or Yumi's without the upgrades, on it, you have 4 votes attack. That's probably going to go for 42, 43 or something ridiculous. And yeah, there's no way they can do anything. These two monitors are probably going to get Imperial monitors on them, which will mean basically they can two-shot the Wonders, and GUA's actually, there's some Palace is actually half HP, which will just get shot down by the monitor in just a second. And yeah, GUA not in a good spot. Soldier not now sort of transitioning into Mills, sending stuff like 19 Strela, which just isn't very good versus this, and he's even getting pushed off by Siege Elephants on the place.
Yeah, for sure. Siege Elephants doing a lot, controlling the whole shore there. It's looking. I don't know what Soldier and Give You Anxiety could do at this moment. Looking at the scores, it's roughly about 400 score difference between the teams, and that's a crazy amount of score difference. Imperial in for Kinesi, age 4 for Tit, age 3, and age 4 for Soldier and GUA, and they call it. Yeah, so 4-0 for Kinesi and Tit. Were you expecting it to be a landslide advantage over to Kinesi and Tit after all 4 games?
Not after. I would have thought that GUA and Soldier would get sort of 3-1. I know GUA hasn't got his preferred civ, sort of British. I know he's pretty good at British in team in particular, actually. So there's still hope for him to get that final game, which might allow him to get over the edge, if you will. I've just asked Kinesi as well. about the berry upgrade. Apparently, it doesn't show on the UI. Apparently, it's bugged or something. I don't know. But
I've
he did have it the whole
seen
time.
it before. I know I've
It
seen
might
it
just be
before.
bugged in team because apparently he had it.
Yeah, no, I saw it in the earlier game, earlier match. So I don't know. Maybe it is a bug though. I mean, well,
but anyway, you can see. I mean, if you scroll up a little bit, so just had 40%, probably in reference to that 40% berry upgrade, and I mean Japan. Once you add on to the fact that imperial bureaucracy obviously does affect berries as well as hunts, so that's 15%. You have 40% from that berry upgrade. Go back to temple, and Team JAILEDaoe adds 8%, and you also have I think 15% from the normal Japanese markets. You end up getting just insane stats on those berries, and you can see from Kinesi's economy. Look how many resources he had comparative to everyone else. It was sort of compared to Soldier and Give You Anxiety, he collected about the same as both of them to put together, even without imperial upgrades, which is just incredible.
Yeah, that's crazy. Berry bushes with Bhakti is just insane. It's absolutely crazy how fast those resources come in. We're looking at military unit population, and we actually see when it comes to population, Give You Anxiety had the advantage most of the game, at least up until around 16 minutes 30 seconds, and then Kinesi just ran away with it. But map control was over Kinesi and Tit the whole game pretty much, and they end up coming away with that victory. Looking at the villager population, you can see that real quick. Tit had really good villager population, as did Kinesi. Soldier did not have as many fishing boats as he would have liked. There was definitely water advantage over to Tit a lot of that game, but Soldier had some points where he had the more water control, and if he had a bunch of fishing boats out too, perhaps that could have played out a little bit differently. But honestly, China versus Japan is just a hard matchup because both civilizations are not super good early. Japan wants to boom, China wants to FF. If you don't get a really good timing push in with China, you just kind of get outscaled.
I mean, in 1v1, China versus Japan is pretty Chinese favourite. I think you end up getting a bigger mass early on, as you said, as China, but you can't really utilize that in team. And obviously, team tends to be a bit of a slog, a bit of a longer game. And obviously, Japan does very well there. You can see actually GUA's macro being pretty poor there. 4,000 gold on GUA there, and Soldier actually having sort of 3,000 food, exactly 1,000 wood just sitting there. So there was also stacked, which may have sort of swayed the game in a different way if they were utilized. But yeah, unfortunate for GUA and Soldier losing that fourth game in a row there. But hopefully they can get the last game. Anything's possible.
Yeah, it's everything's possible. We're into the next game, and I will randomize these civs real quick and the map for you guys. The map is going to be Cascade Range. I think this might actually give a bit of an advantage over to Give You, or not advantage, but chance over to Soldier and Give You Anxiety. 1v1 is more early game focused than team is, so Cascade Range, with how important it is on early, perhaps it plays a little bit into Soldier and Give You Anxiety's chances. We do see the first civ given to them is China though, and Japan is the other civ. That's interesting.
How many times are we going to get China?
I don't know. They're probably a little bit upset. Yeah, but honestly, Japan on this map is pretty decent, to be honest.
Yeah, Cascade Range is known TP, which is it's better for Japan. China obviously likes having a TP. You can't go natives here, although neither of the players really need to go natives because, well, or want to go natives, but it is viable if they go for it. Yeah. And Germany, Aztec, I don't know. I think China, Japan probably the better civs here. Aztec obviously being quite strong on non-TP, but Germany just stinks. So yeah, I mean, I think it's somewhat of a fair matchup actually in team. It's actually Tit respinning there.
Yeah, they're gonna respin Tit and Knissi. They have 2 rehosts available. They are going to use one here. The map is Baja California. There we go. And the civilizations for Soldier and Give You Anxiety. Sioux and Iroquois. Soldier, GUA, Sioux, Hero. And over to Knissi Tit. It's India and China.
Yeah, they're sort of getting a bit fucked. Oh, I shouldn't say that word. Sorry, they're getting a bit unfairly rolled with the civs, if you will. But I mean, there's GUA's tournament at the same time, isn't there, with random civs, and we've seen Kaiser get Aztec 4 times in a row before. So randomness, anything can happen. It's always possible. But I mean, Suiro versus Tits, India, and China. I mean, it's not bad. Iroquois does have forest pillars, and obviously you do have bow riders as soldiers Iroquois, Sioux even, and you can sort of roam around, be a bit of a nuisance. But Iroquois and Sioux are not the best team civs, which I guess is unfortunate, but you can't really change it. It's random.
Yeah, Iroquois generally not considered that amazing, but in 2v2 they could actually do a lot. I really like the unit composition of Ina and Bow Riders in H2. Certainly better than what China has to bring to the table in H2. India has some good options. Their strength really is an H3+ on EP though. Sepoy and Gurkha are pretty decent. The Sepoy are definitely nerfed on EP. And they have camel options too, but really, Bow Rider and Aina should do a whole lot. We'll see what they go with. I'm really curious who's going to take this. One thing to note is that this map does have some water options, and both Sioux and Iroquois. Well, Iroquois doesn't have that great of a boom on water. But and Sioux doesn't have that great when it comes. They don't have a very good either boom or warships. But there's some options that we'll see what they go with.
Both civs have a free privateer shipment, don't they? 500 coin in age 2, and if you can time that together, both players going through it at the same time, you can quite easily just go. I mean. It's comparative to 2 caravels. It's the same as like 4 caravels as a shipment. And if you have 6 on the field at one time, I mean, you're just gonna end up basically demolishing that C. But I don't know if either player will actually go C here. Obviously, Knissi is in the game and Tit isn't both in the game. Tit just playing India did go water as well. But yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what ends up happening.
Yeah, a lot of options. I think a little bit this matchup or the civs might actually be okay for Soldier and GUA if they don't feel like they've automatically lost. They could actually do all right because they're both kind of early game civs. And China and India, they're all India's okay H2, China not so much. They really come into their own really in H3 though. So I think they have some options here. GUA, like we've been saying in chat, is much more. He's been playing this series like a 1v1, his build orders and whatnot, and that's something that 1v1 players often don't do is change, or that they're not always aware of, is that team build orders are very different than 1v1 build orders, and with this matchup though, Iroquois 1v1 build orders can do pretty well if you're rushing hard. We'll see what they go with. We are greening up now, and this is game number 5 between Soldier GUA versus Knissi and Tit. It is 4-0 up for Knissi Tit. We'll see if GUA and Soldier can take a game off of them. It'd be really good for their chances to make it into quarterfinals for doing so.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, if they win a single game and get into the quarterfinals, it's still very possible. They have spawned in. It is a wood start, which is probably better for. Actually, it's about even. I mean, China likes the 300 wood start. India likes wood start, obviously, and Tit and Soldier and GUA Civs also like the wood start. Although Soldier going down for a TP would have preferred a trading post, sort of to be able to snag two of those trading posts early on. But Iroquois obviously is going to go for that trading post. So this should be quite an interesting start because it is. I mean, wood start is probably preferable for GUA and Soldier here. But again, interesting map. It does have water on either side, but you can also just play the trading post line and be quite aggressive.
Yeah, in a 2v2, it is 3 TPs on this map. 3v3, 4v4, it is 5 TPs. So a bit of a difference there. Yeah, we do see that that Sue went for a TP instead of a trade post. It's right. Coke and I often in our games have differences of opinions when it comes to build orders, and that's also something that I would probably disagree with you on with all due respect. If you go with a TP as opposed to a trade post, it does allow you to age up a lot faster and get some raids on your opponent. Granted, Sue does appreciate the trade posts a lot, but you'd have to gather extra wood for that, and TP is just going to boost you already getting to age 2 faster. So we'll see what they do with it. It's this game is could possibly decide whether Soldier and GUA advance to quarterfinals or not.
Yeah, and I think with a TP, what you do is if you get an early wood treasure, if you get like 60 wood or something, you chop wood to get the trading post down, which is why I was confused why Soldier straight away went for that TP. Normally you'd wait sort of 10-15 seconds to see if there's a wood treasure next to you, but I mean there's not a massive difference. You do age up fast. If you age up with the fast age up as well, you can go for sort of an earlier aggression and go for sort of I know you quite like doing it, sort of you go for the fast age up and then you go for four axe riders, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you could age up fast, go for 4 axe riders, 3 villagers, and then 4 axe riders is another option. It kind of just comes down to what shipments you got and what treasures you got, whether you're able to get XP or not. But yeah, he's going to age up pretty soon here. Tit is just about to age up right now with India. It's a pretty good age up time for India in all reality. Going to be the first one aging.
Yeah, India aging up faster. Obviously, I think wonders are slightly slower, depending on how many villagers you have on there. You do see a villager coming forward for Tit, which may emphasize a good fort which is sort of defensive here in the base. So maybe Tit's expecting a rush. One thing to note on this map, I don't know if it's been changed or not. I don't know if it used to be like this, but your TPs on 2v2 really not TPs. Your TCs are really far away from each other. So if you rush one person, it's quite easy just to sort of harass them quite a bit, and you don't get as much infantry mass, or you don't get as much reinforcements from the other person because of how far away you are. But we do see East Indiaman coming in, which is a Dock Rickshaw, and that's Kanisi. So Kanisi now going water instead.
Yeah, we can see the decks out from players. We see Team 5 Manchu, arguably better than 9 Manchu, like we saw in the previous game, or it was in the deck for Give You Anxiety. Team Improved Warships. It's a really nice card that will boost your teammate. Looking at India's deck, he has no warships. He does have Team 4 Urumi, does not have 7 Urumi. So it's basically 8 Urumi as opposed to 7. They're trying to edge out their advantages there, but they and they do that. But yeah, looking at Soldier's deck, he does have 3 Privateers. That is a card that is only available to native civs. He does have advanced dock also. That's interesting. Looking at Iroquois' deck, he has 3 privateers also. Also has water dance. So a little bit of a difference between the choices, the build orders, the decks that are out from the teams. A little bit of water out from Soldier and a little bit of water out from Give You Anxiety. On the other hand, just a little bit of water out from Kinesi. No water deck whatsoever from Tit. We do see this War Hut Travois was brought down low. He still goes pretty forward though, and he does get it up. 4 Kanya Horsemen come out before anything else. So 4 Kanya Horsemen out. The opponents have not shipped any military units. No military units out whatsoever for either team so far outside of those 4 Kanya Horsemen. Usually you see 4 Axe Riders pretty early, but 4 Kanya Horsemen are pretty respectable in and of themselves. We see that Soldier has sent 700 wood as his second card. Did not send 4 Axe Riders. We see Kinesi and Tit just walling up a bit here. It is looking like they're trying to go for a little bit more of a late game approach here.
So what's interesting here is Soldier's going for the Seton bows. He's realised that Sepoys are probably going to be the only thing which is defending here. Actually, 4 Sours coming out. I think that's a bit of a mistake for Tit. Obviously, you can tell sort of Sepoys that I think is a slightly more efficient card against sort of this pressure. You do have Tomahawks on the field and Cannons on the build, but 6 Tomahawks are coming in for GUA. So GUA aggressive push here. You can see he's just got a lot of food on in his stockpile here. Probably going to be researching oils as we've done the scouting party.
Yeah, for whatever reason, in Discord your voice is lagging a little bit. So we'll give it a couple minutes, see if it fixes itself. We could also jump into my Discord if it continues to persist. Looking at everything though, we do see that Iroquois and Sioux have a good amount of units out early and not coordinating super well. The Tomahawks go in as the Seton bows come back. A few clubs there also. Clubs coming in from the left side. They might be able to snare this. Sepoy coming back. And yeah, really good, well microed from Tit so far. Well done by him. It does look like the War Clubs are in on top of them, but they pull back. That is...
Yeah, I think you just stay on the Sepoy with the War Clubs. War Clubs, compared to Pikemen, do have 11 hand attack, which, when they're sort of in hand-to-hand combat with most units, do pretty well. Even with Sepoys and stuff, it's not a massive disparity. Although, War Clubs do need to be sort of kept alive so we can get the Sours and keep them off. This isn't a good trade over to the right here. These Sepoy doing good damage on the A in this particular in range. HU Canoe being effective as probably about the same effectiveness as skirmishers in age 2, right? As of a DPS. And I think this is just a bit of a mess, this fight. I mean, there's just units everywhere. There's 5 more Sepoys coming out the side. Both teams having roughly the same unit population, but I think GUA and Soldier are just going to get cleaned up here.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, War Clubs out. War Clubs are not amazing units. They have really good siege. They're basically like a pike when it comes to fighting other infantry. They're somewhat lackluster. 120 HP, 11 attack. They also cost food and wood, so not exactly ideal. It looks like most of the army is cleaned up. It is 25 military pop to the 31 of Tit and Kinesi. We'll see what happens here, though. Neither player is really onto water. We do see that Kinesi is, but Give You Anxiety and Soldier are not. Yeah. The aggro doing some work, trying to help that fight out, doing some good damage onto the Seton bows. Seton bows are pretty interesting units. I believe they are 60 food, 65 food, 35 wood. So decently cheap. 100 HP and 15 attack, 16 range. They're a little bit better than crossbows, I believe. I could be wrong on that. Do you know the exact stats on crossbow?
So crossbows have I think 16 attack and 16 range, or 14 attack. I can't actually remember off the top of my head, but I believe Seton bows have a faster firing rate. I think it's the same as like longbows. They also just have an awful setup of animation. Or yeah. I might be wrong. I might be which do.
Crossbow and Seton bows. Basically, as far as I know, pretty much all bow units outside of the Yumi have a fire rate of 1.5. At least by default, that's pretty much what it is. So I don't know. I could be wrong, of course, on a specific unit, but generally speaking, that's the case. It does look like Tit and Knisi have a little bit of an advantage here. It is 81 to 88 score versus 72 and 68. It is it's pretty interesting. We do see a dog out here from Knisi, so he's going to be on the opponent's short too. So if they are able to hold, which is looking like they are able to, then they're going to have a decisive advantage as the game goes on later into the game.
And you can look at Tit's macro here. You can see how perfect it is. There's sort of no overhang, if you will, of resources. Bit too eager here from Soldier going forward versus JAILEDaoe. He needs to be careful. There is some tomahawks here. Again, no, I think it would have been better to go sort of Bow Rider and Ain, as Ain has been really strong. Units are just taking down with heavy infantry because of the just the cost is so good for them as well. It's 100, I think it's 100 food exactly, which is just incredible. It's so easy to match. Before backsiders do come in, there isn't a huge amount of anti-cap here except from those pikes. So if those pikes can be sniped down, maybe they can do something out of that. But Minutemen do come out from that Agra fort, and I think it's just to be mass. It just beats this really. I mean, Chukanu's are so good here. JAILEDaoe are getting just basically stalled above the crown pikemen here. Isn't a lot of cavalry here. There is a couple of Sowers and a Gardener on those Setons, but I think it's just spells the end of the game here.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's looking really, really rough for Soldier and JAILEDaoe. Yeah, I was expecting this to be a little bit closer, but Soldier and JAILEDaoe being swept by Tit and Knisi. We'll see in the following play-in matches if JAILEDaoe and Soldier are going to have a shot at the quarterfinals or not. They might have just dropped out of the play-in match entirely. That is, there's 7 matches, and if 6 of them go, if 6 of them go 6-0, but the last one, if all of them go 6-0, then we'll have some tiebreakers. I can't talk. If all 6 of them go 5-0, then we'll have some tiebreakers. Otherwise, it's just going to be 6 of the teams out, and we'll see what happens there. This last game, Sue in India, Soldier would give you anxiety, getting a little bit unlucky with civs. That is, of course, the nature of this tournament. It is there's a lot of luck involved, and we'll see what they're able to do with it. Soldier and JAILEDaoe getting somewhat different civs, not considered the super strong civs, but every civ has its strengths and weaknesses. That's one thing that that is shown in this tournament, is how well you are able to adapt to different civs, and we see that Tit and Knisi take all of the games 5-0. Well done by them. It's been a pleasure casting with you, Riot, and we casted earlier with Harrison, or I casted earlier with Harrison. This is going to conclude the last game for the day. There's been 3 matches played today. I will upload them to YouTube later. I'll try to do that tonight. But yeah, thanks for all the viewers. Thanks for watching this. Yeah, pretty good. Thanks for joining, right? Yeah, anything you want to say to the viewers?
Yeah, I want to say there's a land in the works for someone after that's ended, and there is a Discord on these, so you can join if you would like, if you're interested. So I will just put that out there. But yeah, I mean, great games today. I watched most of them, all ones I could, and looking forward to the rest of the tournament. So it's a thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right. So that concludes it. Thanks so much for joining, guys.